And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another lovely day of North American Apprentice 2023 Season 1 Group Stage. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP, and with me, joining me for Group D, I have the lovely, the beautiful, the fluffy, the AsherBro.
Oh, the D. Let's go.
I knew you'd be up for experiencing the D together today, Papi. The D together.
Oh, beautiful.
Let's go. And yeah, it's honestly like gonna be a pretty interesting day of StarCraft as well, because I believe today is the last day before the DreamHack qualifiers, which are tomorrow as well. The DreamHack qualifiers are going to be pretty intense over the weekend, pretty intense, and these players here, I imagine, are also going to be taking part in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of StarCraft coming, so this is kind of just a little bit of a taster of a nice busy weekend that we're gonna have now.
Just the tip.
Oh.
So yes, welcome everyone once again to NA Apprentice. For those who may not be aware of the event itself, this is kind of like GSL but for North America. Specifically, it does kind of leave out the top players of North America, players like your Neeb, your Scarlet, they Estrella as well. They're kind of excluded from this, but everyone else, you know, the more up and coming players, just barely not making it into like the top 3 of DreamHack, they're here to duke it out, to compete.
Yeah, and there's a few players here that we're quite familiar with as well, so a bit of MiGs action today.
Yes. So Group D is 4 players in total. It's going to be Future, Creature, Eon, and Vindicta. We're going to try and not be too biased, but we are biased.
Just the regular amount.
Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, it looks like first up we are going to be starting here with 2 of those players, by the way. Future, the Terran, is going to be kicking things off here against Creature, the Protoss.
Alrighty. Now, I haven't casted that much of Creature. I did see him playing in last year, the most recent NA DreamHack qualifiers, and he did reasonably well. I believe he's a returning player, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he used to be active years ago. I want to say Heart of the Swarm, early Legacy, the Void kind of era of StarCraft. He was much more active, and then he took like a couple of years break, I want to say, or maybe like he was a little bit active, but like sparingly here and there. But recently he's been kind of popping up a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's been definitely good to see more of him.
Oh yeah, definitely. We actually did cast Creature, of course, during the qualifiers of NA Apprentice, as we did also cover that a week or so ago. So Creature was looking pretty damn good. He was utilizing his race well, is all I'll say. You can take from that what you will.
Alrighty, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it is the red Protoss. This is Creature.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the American Terran player representing Alpha X. It is Future. And I don't want to be too much of a broken record, but like, you know, I feel like I have to bring this up. It feels like for a very long time, Future was the best Terran in America, was kind of the top dog for a while. And if you remember, I think it was 2021, maybe like the tail end of 2022 and 2020 itself, Future actually stepped away from the game, and he actually took quite a bit of time off from competing and from being as active.
Yeah, and I don't think I don't think it's too out of line to say he's not fully back. I know he was streaming a little bit here and there, but I don't think he is full time or anything like that with StarCraft at the moment, and probably won't be either.
Yeah. There was a time where he used to dedicate a lot more time to the game, and now a little bit less so. But I guess it's important to bring up because he's also kind of a returning player, a more recent returning player. So his skill is still quite like kind of picking the game back up again is a little bit easier for Future, I imagine. But what's exciting is that he has been a little bit more active as well over the past, like, 6+ months. He has been playing in a lot more events. He's been going to LANs as well. He was at Storm Cup. He was at the Cheesedelphia Storm Cup, essentially. And yeah, he's been quite active overall, which has been really exciting to see again.
Yeah, 100%. Always a strong player, always one of the contenders for the top Terrans. In North America, it's basically between him, Vindicta, and Epic, so you can kind of always assume that he's going to keep roughly around this level. I feel like it's pretty hard to drop too far below that level once you reach it, ever.
100%, and you know, that's definitely something that we're going to be seeing later on, is the kind of the Terran players of North America duking it out. You mentioned them, Epic, Vindicta, and Future. Well, 2 of them are in this group. And that's going to be a bit of a spicy TBT as well, you know, to kind of prove maybe once again who is the current top Terran. Now, I'd like to say it's Vindicta, but but you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to the matches. It comes down to the results.
Yeah, anything can happen on the day, that's for sure. As we are seeing a very standard build coming out from Future. He is a player that relies mostly just on his very clean mechanics and timings. He does have some pretty interesting builds that he throws in there as well, but his main focus is just hitting extremely clean timings.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We don't really expect anything to divert too far from the norm from Future. Meanwhile, across the map, Creature is doing what Protoss does best on Ancient Cistern. We are opening up with the Stargate. We do have a Phoenix first.
Yeah, there we go. So just going to be going for a pretty safe all-around opening, and you can either bank these Phoenix away for a drop or anything like that, or you can just send this first one straight across the map for some scouting.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides to do with this. Meanwhile, he wasn't able to scout too much either. He was denied entry into the main base, so Creature is a little bit in the dark. We can see a 1-1-1 setup. We already have our 2 Raxes as a follow-up as well. And likewise, Creature going straight into that Robo as the Reaper gets into the main.
Yeah, Reaper and Hellion combo, fantastic for scouting, so Future will send both of those in to get that full scout. Might actually get... Okay, he almost gets them out, but at least force a lift.
Forces a little bit of energy out of those Phoenixes. Meanwhile, the Reaper and Hellion did confirm the Stargate opener, the Phoenixes, as well as the Robo back at home as well. So Future has all the information he needs, and he can start to respond as well here, as he does go for a bit of an add-on switch. You know, he's going to want to make sure he has plenty of anti-air. I imagine we're going to be seeing a Cyclone soon as well.
Yeah, looks like he's just prioritizing getting straight on these tech labs, going for Stim and combat shields ASAP, so he sees it at Stargate. He knows he doesn't need to make tanks or anything like that. He can just go for this slightly more greedy variation that's going to hit sooner and harder.
Yeah, and this could work, especially because I don't look. I'm sure you've had this happen to you before, but Creature's being pretty greedy. Off of 1 gate, he's going straight into the bay already as well to start Colossus production. He's at least being a little bit safe and starting an Immortal first, but he's going to be getting into these Colossi pretty quickly.
Yeah, looks like we're going to be going for a little bit of a almost a mech-ish style with the Phoenix and the Robo. So should be trying to get into Colossus as soon as he can. So I don't mind it. I think he probably feels like the weaker player in the matchup and wants to cut a few corners here and there. I definitely don't mind that at all, especially with Future heading for a timing that's not going to hit for at least another minute.
Yeah, we're still waiting for our upgrades to really kick in and for the army to bank up as well. Tank production is commencing. We've got plenty of Marines and the Raven as well in the main waiting for those Phoenixes. Surprisingly, these Phoenixes haven't been too active, right? They've kind of been chilling at home, a lot more defensive here from Creature. He hasn't been too proactive at picking off workers or picking off units.
Yeah, so Future as well is going to be sitting up here protecting that Raven as well from the Phoenix. They do kill it extremely fast, so he's got to be pretty careful about that.
Yeah, the Raven is safe for now. The Phoenixes are looking for an angle. They dive in. They're going to get it. Ooh.
Yeah, there we go. Raven goes down for the price of a Phoenix and a half.
Oh.
That's not the best, but, you know, when you do go for Raven here against Phoenix, you're never fully expecting it to work out too well. But, yeah, Future going to be hitting an extremely clean timing here. His supply is very impressive for this stage of the game, and behind that, going to throw down that third on location, and off we go.
Hey, that's just a Smoge thing to say. Like, mate, he went Phoenixes. The Raven's gonna die. All right. It's
It's kind of true. Like, it's
yeah,
pretty.
Yeah.
It's just a build order thing. You just kind of hope that you'll at least be able to take out a Phoenix.
I agree with you. It's just a little bit sad. Let's here we go. The tank's gonna be able to siege up here in location. The shield battery goes down immediately. The overcharge barely does anything, and look at how sparse the ground Protoss army is for Creature.
Yeah, this is a killer timing coming out from Future, and he's just gonna shred everything that's here for Creature.
Yeah, we didn't even need the disable, and again, Creature was so light with gateways. He finally got his gateway explosion up and running, but a little bit too late. The second Colossus comes out, but again, there is nothing to protect it.
Yeah, second Colossus goes down. With that, that should be the game. GG is called. Future takes game 1.
GG, well played. Future scouting the entirety of the opener and the build of his opponent, and just hitting a pretty crisp timing there. Damn.
Yeah, just super clean stuff. Kind of what we expect coming out from him. So it'll be on Creature to mix things up a little bit more this time, I think. Either playing things a little bit more standard and safe, or just going all out crazy cheese of some kind. I think I'd prefer the latter.
Yeah.
For his chances, but we'll see. Yeah,
I agree. Like when you pose like two kind of paths here, you know, when you know that you're the underdog in a series, and you want to like try and cut corners in a certain way, you can either be really greedy or really cheesy. The greedy thing feels a little bit more punishable, you know, and as we clearly saw, Future is definitely good enough to punish that sort of thing. So Creature gambling a little bit, but Future's too good for that, mate. It's too good.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna have to see him mix things up a little bit this time, but here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, playing for Alpha X, it is our Terran in the yellow, Future.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have as opponent, we have the American Protoss player representing Root Gaming. It is Creature. You know, at least he got the Raven.
Yeah, it would have been even more one-sided if that Raven came across the map for the Disable and the Colossus, but yeah, we'll see what Creature's going to go for this time. Looks like no proxy at least.
Yeah, so far the initial pylon and gateway are back at home here for Creature, and I don't really know if he's necessarily the most cheesiest player. When we were able to cast him over the weekend during the qualifiers, we saw some relatively defensive play out of Creature. Not overly greedy like we saw last time, but yeah, nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, which is a scary thing just because we feel like that's something that he has to rely upon a little bit more here to face Future.
Yeah, right, definitely. As it is just going to be pretty standard play coming out so far, so if he's going to be doing anything weird, I guess it could be... it's not a very good map for 4-gate Blink, but could go for some Charge All-In or something like that.
Oh, Charge All-In, maybe some DTs, you know, maybe.
yeah, GT maybe, that'd be a good one too.
Yeah.
Pretty short map.
True, is quite short, and definitely, you know, the kind of entryway in towards the main base there isn't quite a lot of options here if you do go for Blink Stalkers. It isn't the most accessible main, so probably not the wisest choice for that, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe he does go Stargate again, but this time, you know, a little bit less greedy, something a little bit safer in general. We'll see.
Yeah, indeed. As we do see, it's going to be a Marine Reactor coming out from Future, so we might be seeing some Hellions getting rushed out here.
Oh, Asher, your voice is so deep.
Oh, is it? I think I broke it down.
Oh, good. Oh, good, puppy. Oh, good. As we now have our answer, and it is not going to be a Stargate opener once again. We do see a bit of a divergence in builds, and Creature is going for the Twilight Council.
Should be better, yeah?
Oh, welcome back. Oh.
Yeah. The, I don't know, my mic just does that periodically. It's pretty annoying. But yeah, here we go. The Hellion's going to be pumped out. We're going to have a proxy starport as well, so it's going to be a Hellion drop here coming out from Future.
Oh boy, yeah, this time there won't be any Phoenixes to shut down that drop. We'll see if we do have a Blink opener. We were kind of discussing that earlier as maybe an option for Creature. Maybe not the best choice for a hyper-aggressive build, but we'll see here as we do have a Robo being prioritized. No upgrade yet on that Twilight Council.
Yeah, starting out with a Robo here. Yeah, okay, there we go. So it is going to be that DT rush after all. He's hiding it very well as well by going for 3 Adepts here. So going pretty heavily into the gateway units, maybe just because of what he scouted here. Nice wall off at the front. It's at least going to prevent these first couple from going in as it's... Oh, okay, so it's not going to be a drop. It's going to be a Liberator first. So this full wall is a really good move for a creature.
100%. He gambles a little bit and he rolls the dice well here. As you were saying, ideally this is designed to hit with the Liberator in the main and then the Hellions rush into the natural, right? Kind of a two-pronged attack. But now that we have a full wall, the Hellions can't really do much of anything.
I'm a tiny bit concerned. We have nothing that shoots up at the moment.
We can warp in a Stalker. Oh no, he cancels the wall, by the way, and the Hellions now have a way in, and they're going for it! They're going for it, Poppy!
Oh, and the wall is down. These 6 Hellions going to be charging straight on in, getting on top of these robes. The Liberator Sieges are up in the main, and Creature does not have the attention to spend here.
But everything was looking okay, and then suddenly, no, the workers, they're lining up, and every probe is going to get roasted. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, I mean, the Hellions are going to be going down. Not the most attentive micro there, just because he was, you know, macroing back up at home. But behind this, I mean, that's all that time lost mining. 20 probes in total. I mean, the Liberator's still here. The Stalker's having a really hard time getting on top of it. And, or if the Stalker's died to the Liberator here, that might just be it.
The Stalkers are going to...
Oh, no!
Oh, the last shot didn't go off!
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Creature, he was paying attention back across the map because he was sieging up his prison to warp in some DTs and a Cyclone just shoot him away, and then bam, he goes back to the natural and GG.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. That is pretty rough. Bit of a build order counter as well. Very hard to deal with that when you're going DT just because you have so few gateway units.
Yeah, it definitely has. GG gets called, and Future will take the series at 2-0 in a pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, certainly. And obviously a little bit frustrating there for Creature as well. But understandable.
Yeah, it felt like both games, it was kind of build order losses, right? Like, game 1, he was kind of blindly going for his own build. He wasn't really scouting his opponent too much, and he wasn't ready for a big stim and combat shields timing with those tanks. And here in game number 2 as well, also not really aware of what was going on and just get shut down.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think game 1, he just got out macroed. It was just a much cleaner game. But game 2, that is, it's pretty hard build matchup to deal with. I mean, Proxy Stargate Hellion drop is pretty typical counter for the DT rush. Just because, yeah, you can't really defend your probes, as we say.
Yeah. It feels bad, man. But GG, congratulations to Future. A really strong start for our American Terran player. And yeah, it's gonna be a pretty interesting kind of group overall. Just to take a little bit of a moment here to update said group and look at what's been going on. Our next series is of course going to be Eon and Vindicta, and what I love about this group is that it's kind of similar to Group B. If you remember, the first group that we casted was really up in the air because Reaper, the cheesy Zerg player, was like kind of, it was really difficult to predict like how he would compare to all the players, even Disc included. Likewise, Reaper is the cheesiest Zerg player in America. Eon is the cheesiest Zerg player in Latin America. So he's also a bit of a wild card.
Yeah, I mean... Actually, I remember playing versus Eon. He plays really weird.
Yeah.
I feel like Vindicta's probably familiar enough with him that it's not going to be too difficult, just with the skill difference as well. But like you were saying, we never know. I mean, Ryuichi opened up that Group B, if you remember, by taking down Reaper, and that kind of just threw everything up in the air because then Reaper took out Disc.
That's the thing, right? And could the same happen here? Could Eon take down either Vindicta or Future? I would say that his stronger matchups are against Protoss and Zerg. I think he can be a little bit cheesier and more creative there. Against the Terrans, I don't know what to expect. Maybe you have a little bit more first-hand experience. It's been a while since I've casted Eon against Terran.
It's a little bit harder to make that sort of stuff work against Terran, to be honest. I think Protoss is going to be your most successful matchup most of the time with the kind of stuff that he's going for. But I'm sure he's got, various strategies that he's worked out and been working on over the break and such. So it'd be interesting to see what he's got at the moment.
Oh yeah, very interesting indeed. As we're going to be getting ready here for game number 2 again, everyone in the stream, we can all have a look here at the lineups that we do have for us today. A lot of great matches, 6 best of 3s in total, and halfway through this broadcast, we will have a short break just to kind of break up, all of these matches, because we got a lot of StarCraft ahead of us, a lot of StarCraft.
Yeah, for sure. But here we go. We're going to kick straight on into this one. It's going to be Eon going up against Vindicta.
Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. A ZVT, but not your ordinary ZVT. It's going to get crazy, Poppy. It's going to get crazy. Oh. Best kind of ZVT.
Alright, so here we go. Spawning in the top of the left-hand corner of the map, newly joining the Platinum Heroes, it is the American Terran in the blue. This is Vindicta.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales LE, we have his opponents. We have the Costa Rican Zerg player representing License to Kill LTK. It is Eon. Boy, and if I recall correctly, Eon, especially in some of the other matchups, he can be a very cheesy player, very unpredictable player as well. Here against Terran, you're kind of limited a little bit. We do see a pool first already coming out from Eon, and we'll see how early he takes his gases, if at all, and how hard he wants to commit to this pool first, or if he pulls a Miyamika and just makes like 2 links.
Yeah, there's a few different things you can do, but typically he tends to just be more of like a pressure and momentum player where he just hits some rather offbeat roach timings that hit a bit harder than you'd normally be used to. And they can definitely catch you off guard, especially if you're playing like a 3cc Banshee or something. You're moving out with all your Hellions and your Banshees, and you're starting to transition into more of a bio setup. That can be a really awkward time to get hit by a bunch of roaches, and I feel like that's one of the kind of ways that he likes to play.
100%. When Eon comes to mind in ZVT, I do think of roaches more than anything, and I do expect to see them at least once in this series, maybe even every single game. But we'll see so far. As with this pool first, we do see a faster queen. We only are committing 4 lings as well, not 6. It's not the biggest commitment, but regardless, he is going to be trying to sneak out across the map, but the SCV will spot them.
Yeah, spots of Ling's going to go up into the main as well just to see how much gas has been mined, whether speed is on the way or anything like that. So he'll be able to see that it's a pretty normal later gas timing, not going to be anything too crazy, and he can just pretty much continue with his normal build. He's going to have to be... it's important in this situation as a Terran not to overreact.
100%, and we already see the Reaper of Vindicta in position to deny those lings. Ling's gonna try and slip by, but again, the Reaper did stay at home because Vindicta scouted and saw that it was a pull first. Ling's gonna get cleaned up. Can we force a delay on the CC though?
Yeah, no sort of dance back and forth where gonna lose a bit of build time on the CC, but for 4 lings, not bad at all.
That's only a couple of seconds, and they didn't even get a kill on that SCV. And we can see as well, Vindicta taking this very seriously. Again, he may have quite a bit of experience with Eon, but we already have a bunker as well on the low ground.
Yeah, so seeing that it's not speed, it's safe to go for the bunker on the low ground rather than high ground. He's just going to dip back in and get a rescout as well, so it sees that, he's still mining gas, so there could be something more coming from here. Having a look at what's going on, I don't think there is. But Eon still hasn't taken his 3rd yet, so he really is delaying himself quite a lot here.
100%. The third is finally going to get taken, but as you were pointing out, we still are mining a lot of gas here without any kind of tech structure. So this could be maybe we're going for a delayed fast lair. I imagine maybe even a roach warren as well. We should be seeing something tech oriented just because, yeah, 2 more gases are being taken.
Yeah, there we go. So might go into a muta setup. The Reaper going to be dipping back in. Vindicta did make a Cyclone, so it looks like he thought it was going to be Roaches coming on in. And there you go. The Roach Warren gets thrown down now, lots later. But as we were talking about before, I mean, it's these offbeat timings that can really catch you off guard as a Terran when you're starting to make your transitions, which is something we can see Vindicta is doing now.
Yeah, I imagine the reasoning here behind Eon, and, you know, I don't want to say that, you know, I know what he thinks like, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and turn my brain and think like an ape. But I imagine he wanted to maybe wait until the Reaper was killed, you know, maybe secure the fact that this will not get scattered. And even if it does delay him, maybe it will be worth it in the end to keep Vindicta in the dark.
Doesn't make any sense to me, but it's going to be a really weird timing here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be hitting around when there's Hellions are coming out. There's not going to be too many Marines at home. Vindicta's going to have to catch on to this quite quickly. Already, a little bit of a sign that something's up. No drones at the third.
Yeah, we're cutting drones here at 41. I imagine we're going to be going for a Roach-Ling rush here, or a Roach-Ling flood even. We do see quite a lot of damage being done already to the third base, and the Roaches are revealed.
Yeah, seeing the Roaches are absolutely huge. Vindicta should know to throw down some more bunkers back at home. He's getting some extra Raxes as well, but yeah, looks like he's feeling quite confident right now.
Yeah, exactly. The SimCity is looking pretty damn good here at the natural. The Hellions do turn around as well, but Eon is very committed here. He's morphing every single Roach into a Ravager. He's flooding Lings behind this as well. Oh boy, he is going to be going all in, and as this is happening, Vindicta drops into the main.
Yeah, completely all in. Dropping the main, going to be taking out that Queen. So nice bit of damage there for Vindicta. Going to be preventing any more injects there. But here we go. The Ravagers are rocking up on the front. And wow, Mix does not have much to deal with this at all. He could be in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, there's no Cyclone. There's a Cyclone, but there is no tank. The bunker goes down immediately. The Lings are flooding on in as well. They're getting yourself with the Marines.
Yeah, all the Lings going to be going down. But these Ravagers still here. They're having a good little bit of drone, SCV drilling. But Vindicta in quite a lot of trouble here. He has been caught, as we're talking about, in that transition. The tank's about to come out. It is, you know, sitting towards the back, so it will be safe at least until those Ravagers can get to it. And he's going to try to use the SCVs to block them out from getting the bile there.
Yeah, the SCVs are doing a great job of just holding on and buying some time, but the biles are connecting with the tank. The tank goes down, and with the death of that tank, Vindicta just doesn't really have much left at all.
Yeah, I think he might just be dead here. These 4 Ravagers are going to be able to take out so many SCVs.
Yeah, exactly. The worker count here for Vindicta is going at lower and lower. We have 7 SCVs remaining here for Vindicta, and the Ravagers are still in the main.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, back at home, Vindicta taking out almost all of the workers at that main. Quite a few of them were pulled, but quite a few of them went down as well. Despite that, there's nothing left. GG is called, and Eon, with a very offbeat timing, takes game 1.
GG, and this is what I was talking about, Poppy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. So Eon takes a lead in this series, and again, you know, he's such a quirky player to play against because, you know, he knowingly delays his tech. He makes a build that's technically inefficient because it hits a little bit later, but as a result, you're not ready for it. You know, your pants are down, Poppy.
Yeah, the build makes no sense at all. I was going to say it. The build is very inefficient, doesn't really make sense, and I guess that's why it worked.
Yeah, you know, because it's inefficient, then sometimes you can mind game yourself, and oh boy, regardless, Eon does take the first game, and he has a lead here in this series. And now Vindicta, he's in a bit of a rough spot here. You know, these are best of 3s, not best of 5s.
Yeah, true. So now he has to win these next 2 with a player who's already proven himself very hard to read.
Exactly. Oh boy, and what's important and what I imagine is that build from Eon, we're not going to see that again this series. You know, he's got a bag full of these dirty, twisted builds that he's going to be reaching into, and I wish the best of luck here to our Terran player to be able to scout and be able to respond to them.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a muted man this time around, but here we go. Spawning the bottom left-hand corner of the map for Platinum Heroes. This is the American Terran in the blue, Vindicta.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the player who is currently leading this series 1-0. The best player in all of Costa Rica, representing License to Kill. It is Eon. Oh boy, and yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of pressure on Vindicta, but to be fair, he has been here before. You know, he's become a very experienced player over the years. I'm sure taking a loss in that first game, yeah, I'm sure he can brush it off quite easily and prepare his mind here for the rest of the series.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't get to this point in Terran without dying to a few random Zerg cheeses.
He was born in this mode, Bobby. He lives in this mode. He's fine. He likes it.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, here we go. We're going to be seeing another pool first coming out from the Zerg.
Yeah, Eon goes for that pool hatch gas opener once again. We'll see how many lings he commits to this time. If you recall, game number 1, he went for 4 lings. Here in game number 2, once again, 4 lings on the way.
Yep, and Vindicta going to be scouting a little bit earlier than usual this time, so he just wants to make sure that he does see those lings, that they aren't able to run around.
Oh yeah, exactly. He wants to see the lings, he wants to know how many lings are coming out, and there we go. With the SCV Scout, he does confirm all 4 of them. We'll be able to slip into the main base and also get an eye on that gas geyser timing as well.
Yeah, so everything looking the same so far.
Just like game number 1, and I imagine because we have similar openers, Vindicta will be adjusting his own opener as well, just to be a little bit safer. Likewise, you know, as we get into this, the Reaper is staying at home here, waiting for those links to reveal themselves.
Yeah, so the link should be on the way. We do see, yeah, Vindicta going to be reacting quite a little bit less this time, not going for a bunker so soon, not going to be making that second marina either.
Yeah, ooh, but you know what, because that the first SCV is going to go down this time, the links will be cleaned up, and this won't delay things for too long, but Eon does technically deal a little bit more damage this time with his opener.
Yeah, not a bad trade. Fair bit of time on the CC and a SCV going down. That's, I think, more than enough compensation.
Yeah, for sure, and Eon is already looking to take his third base as well. We have the drone getting in a position. Once again, we have not pulled out a gas after getting link speed as well, so we are going to be spending that on something soon. Is it going to be another Roach Horn, or are we going to go for a faster lair? Faster lairs can be a little bit tricky though, just because arguably they are a little bit easier to scout, as he does go for his third.
Yeah, so third going down at a bit more of a reasonable time this time around. Vindicta going to be taking small risks here as well, not going for any early extra follow-up scout with the Reaper, just going to keep everything at home, and looks like he's going to be going into a 2cc Banshee build this time. So last time he went 3cc, was delaying quite a lot of his production and tech, but this time he's going to fully commit to getting these very safe units out.
Yeah, and I think this is a really smart way to play against Reaper. I would echo this as well for the future series when the future series when future plays. Shaking my head. But yeah, very safe opener here from Vindicta. You could argue that there's pressure on him now to deal a little bit more damage with those Banshees to make up for his economic loss, but I mean, Eon's not going to be trading too much anyway. Like that's just not what he does. Yeah,
I mean, this build is a good little bet, good little gamble if you think your opponent's going to do something very cheesy. There we go. Vindicta going to be coming in, gets a full scout as well, so sees the extra gases, sees the high link count. He should know that something similar is coming his way again, and it looks like it's actually going to be the exact same build.
Yeah, I didn't think he would do it 2 games in a row, but he is. He just straight up takes 3 gases, no lair. We see a scan into the main, so Vindicta just wants to make sure that it is going to be the same build, doesn't want to die to it twice here, and this time Vindicta will be far better prepared.
Yeah, good scan there. Sees everything that he needs to see. So back at home, I mean, he's got the Banshees. He should have 2 Banshees out by the time this hits, or the second one at least not too far away. And that's going to make this a lot easier to hold. He still might take a fair bit of damage, and one of the disadvantages with going 2cc here is you have to be careful not to lose too many SCVs, just because you can't replace them as fast.
Yeah, it does make plenty of sense here. He has to preserve his workers. His Banshee has already revealed that he does get one roach kill for his troubles, but Eon is sneaking around the edge of the map. He's going to try and commit. Oh, I say that. Eon stops making links. He's droning behind this.
Okay, nice little variation here. I mean, this is still going to hit extremely hard, but that is, of course, one of the strengths of this build. So instead of continuing to flood links behind it, he is just going to be seeing what damage he can get with these Ravages. As here we go, going to be breaking down those walls immediately. Quick, deeper cap, super deeper, I don't know what you want to call it, thrown down here for Vindicta. But, oh, the SimCity, fantastic. All the links get immediately shredded, and this was very one-sided, this fight. Vindicta absolutely crushes the push with almost no losses.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at the units lost here, we lost a handful of Hellions, but that's well worth it. Eon just ramming his links into that wall. Unfortunately, I do like that he was picking up some depots with the Ravagers, but the links were a little bit unnecessary. He overextended, and now he barely has anything here for the counterattack.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded him maybe just taking out that burning, the second depot, the burning one, before he sent those links through, but yeah, the setup just a little bit too good for Vindicta. Predicted that the same kind of thing would be coming his way, and with that, he's going to be able to fend this off. Gets a little bit of damage as well, but going to be losing those Hellions without too much trouble, which is not ideal.
Yeah, 3 drones went down, and as you said, Hellions ideally want to trade a little bit better than that, but at least the Banshees are still alive, and they can one-shot drones. That's exactly what they're doing. Drone after drone is going down. Even the Queen at the natural gets picked off.
Ooh, yeah, picks off the Queen. Might be able to pick off this Queen as well. So very good stuff coming out from Vindicta, and he is just abusing the fact as well that this all-in build means that the Zerg play is going to be very low on Queens.
He's abusing him, Papi, as one Banshee does get picked off, but as you were saying, 3 Queens here, and how many? Oh my god, 3 Queens and 9 drones. Very well worth it here in the end, but Eon, he's going for a counterattack.
Yeah, fantastic trade here, considering he wanted those units anyway, just for safety. So if you can trade them off and get some good damage, you're going to be more than happy with that as the Terran player. But behind this, yeah, Eon just getting his 3 bases up and running. He's got a Spire on the way as well, so hopefully Vindicta going to be sending some kind of harassment across the map to be able to pick up on that.
Yeah, definitely. And Eon, oh my god, he's being so he's taking so aggressively as well. He's going for double Evo chambers. He's getting a Spire and an Infestation Pit. Like, this is insane.
It's very weird. Kind of looks like a ZVP build setup where you're going for that heavy roach pressure, but maybe making 5 mutas just to backstab as well. So I wonder if he's going to be going for something like that.
Yeah, it's like he wants to make 5 mutas. He wants the roach +1, the 1/1 timing as well. But the Infestation Pit on top of that, like it's all over the place right now. And unfortunately, we don't really have a very high drone count, but we'll see what Eon can make do with this build as we have 9 mutas on the way. Oh my god.
Alright, it's a pretty decent commitment to the mutas there, so if they can dip into that main unexpectedly while all this is going on, it could be pretty brutal. I did see Vindicta making turrets at one point, but I think, judging by the way that he's positioning these turrets, he might have been expecting tunneling claws actually.
Yeah, maybe a bigger commitment into those roaches. Regardless, the double jump gets across the map. We do see a bit of a supply block for Eon. The mutas reveal themselves that they do clean up this job, so very nicely done here. But on the Marines, they show up!
Oh yeah, nice attack with the Marines, and mate, there's nothing here at all for Eon. I mean, with that all-in getting cleaned up so effectively, there's just not what he needs to deal with the push.
Yeah, every muta gets cleaned up. The roaches as well. The muta follow-up was a bold follow-up to say the least, and it is not enough to hold on.
Yeah, no carapace here for these roaches. Vindicta may be overextending a little bit here, charging straight on into the middle, but I mean, he can just siege up in between the bases here. The siege tank's going to do very well.
Yeah, the siege tanks will just clean up that roach army here. As you were saying, there's not really much to protect these tanks, so it's going to be a bit of a costly loss, as Eon is going to be hugging these tanks with these roaches, and yeah, it does force the unsiege.
Yeah, so 2 of those tanks at least going to be going down. Actually saves the 3rd one as well, so nice little bit of micro there, and Eon is just in huge trouble now.
Yeah, he is. The fourth base has been broken. Eon just doesn't really have too much left afterwards. We've got 15, 16 roaches on the way. But even if we hold on, Vindicta is taking a fourth behind this.
Yeah, I love this. The fourth just bang on location. Doesn't really care about what's headed back his way. And he is killing Eon at the front here.
Yeah, he really is. Again, only a handful of roaches remaining here. Eon trying to hold on, but GG is called. Should be called.
It sure is an NA tournament. We've had as many GGs as not.
You're not wrong, Bobby. You're not wrong. As Vindicta ties up the series and takes game number 2.
Alrighty. So we have an ace match.
We do. We're going all the way to game number 3, and I didn't point it out, but yeah, Creature also didn't GG Future.
Yeah. 2 out of 4. Incredible.
Oh, smooch. Welcome to NA, Bob. Hey, look. I'm just saying that the logo for NA Apprentice is the North American region with a clown nose. Okay, you know it's.
yeah. It's Madge. Yeah. Madge World.
We embrace the meme, Bob. We embrace it. We're gonna be getting ready for the ace match, and game number 3 is gonna be taking place on Ancient Sister.
And they're not laughing at us. We're laughing with them. We're all laughing.
Everyone.
Me and my buds.
We're all laughing together, Poppy. It's okay. It's okay. Oh god, but I'm still a little bit on edge, not gonna lie, because we're getting into the ace match and this still could go either way. There's no way the Zerg player does the same thing 3 games in a row, right?
He's a clown if he does. 12 full. Let's go.
Let's go.
As spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it is the American Terran in the blue for Platinum Heroes, Vindicta.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have his opponents. We have the Costa Rican Zerg player representing Team License to Kill. It is Eon.
Oh, Gosta.
Oh. What's that?
Just the name of a man.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
Like an old Greek man, Gosta.
Oh, okay. Augustus.
Come talk to your Uncle Gosta.
Why? He's from Costa Rica, papi. What do you mean? He's not Greek.
No, he said Costa. Costa.
Did I say that?
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. I didn't know where you were pulling it from, but okay.
Oh, really? Okay. Jesus. As here we go. Going to be having a pull first once again coming out from Eon. Takes that gas pretty late, so I wasn't really paying close enough attention to see if he was doing that at the other games as well.
Yeah.
I don't love this build, I gotta say.
As a Zerg player, I'm not too fond of it either, But like, what can I say, right? He took game 1,
Hey,
he took a
game off Vindicta. It's not bad,
Yeah, exactly. So, Eon, you do you, buddy. As once again, he's sending his 4 lings out. He's avoiding the SCV. This time, the SCV scout not as early, but will once again confirm the opener.
Yeah, Vindicta once again going to be sending that Reaper out to meet it. Feels like every game so far has gotten a little bit more adventurous with his response for this, and this time it looks like he's going to be making a couple Marines at home and maybe pulling some SCVs to defend.
Yeah, because his Reaper is not staying back at home. He's sending his Reaper across now. He's going to be relying on SCVs and Marines to defend. The 4 lings are about to show up, and they are being split off here to help deal with these SCVs.
Yeah, I mean, this is okay. We can just pull a few SCVs down from the main. I think this is the more technically correct way to deal with this, is to send the Reaper across the map for a scout and defend with 2 Marines and some SCVs at home. But looks like he's seen what he needs to see and pulls the Reaper back.
And it does pull the Reaper back in the end, just to ensure that he is safe and sound. Looking at the units lost tab, we did lose 1 SCV, but for the 4 lings, everything is okay here for both the Terran and the Zerg. Meanwhile, we gotta be seeing some of the variation. Once again, Eon is not pulling out of that gas.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna do it again.
No way. Maybe.
And there's no third still. There we go. The third does
Yeah.
go down. The Reaper scouts it as well. Scouts it. It's a very late third, so I think Vindicta is going to be confident, at least so far, that we're having the same build. If there's going to be any variation, it'll be a little bit later on. But it looks like we are having a little bit more droning coming out this time from Eon.
Yeah, you know, we're droning on up. If I recall correctly, I believe he cut workers at around between 40 and 45 for his Roach Flood. But there we go, as if on cue, there's the Roach War, and 2 more gases being taken as well. Talk to me, Poppy, talk to me.
An animal. Actual animal.
I mean, there's logic behind it, you know, right? Where I'm sure Eon is thinking, there's no way he expects it 3 games in a row. Right?
I mean, Vindicta just goes for 2cc Banshee again. He gets the
Yeah.
bunker at the front, so he's looking extremely safe and sound. He's going to be making a few Hellions as well, which I feel like was one of the reasons that he lost that first game is because he didn't have the Hellions. And there we go. These Hellions at the front going to be dipping in, getting a bit of a rescout. Sees everything looking somewhat normal. I think the biggest tell at the moment is just the lack of creep spread, showing the lack of queens. Scans, sees the Roach Warren and 2 gases, so it's just going to be like, okay, I guess you're doing it again.
This scan tells Vindicta everything he needs to know. He's fully aware of what's going on. And there we go. He's preparing back at home. We have 1 Banshee coming out, 2nd Banshee as well, 3rd CC on the way. And the Sim City this time is once again looking pretty good.
Yeah, looking very solid. Pretty much just going to be hoping that those links funnel on through. Actually a little bit supply blocked and making even more Hellions. This feels like a very slight mistake here.
Yeah, so as Vindicta is making more Hellions, Eon, after getting scanned, is droning. He's droning up, he's getting spores in preparation for the Banshee, and we have a lair on the way, and Overlord speed as well. Pneumatized Carapace starts up, so Eon is transitioning, he is not committing.
Let's go. Doing something different. This is pretty nice. And he is still a little bit behind where he would like to be on the drones, but another money scan goes down. Sees that lair. Sees the continued, the extra gases. So he sees that he's gone up to 4 gases here.
Yep.
So that's already pretty sus.
That was actually... Yeah. They go on.
Oh, we're actually having a drop a lot down here in the corner. I really like this, actually. Considering how much the game's been thrown off where it would normally be, I wouldn't be surprised to have the Hellions going back out on the map around now. So I think this is a really well-timed move, regardless of whether it works out.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. At the same time, we do see 1 queen going down across the map. The Banshees are going ham in the natural. Oh my god, and will they see it? If they go 1 step closer to the right-hand side, they do see the hydrogen that's on the way as the Lings get into the main.
Yeah, even throws down maybe a bit of a superfluous scan, but there we go. The Ling's going to be running on to the main. They do deny a lot of mining time here, so not the worst little bit of damage ever. I mean, 8 Lings, definitely quite expendable, but these Banshees just continuing to be a massive nuisance, and Eon severely lacks the amount of queens that he needs to deal with this.
Mate, there was a message behind that scan. Like, it was quite unnecessary because he was already there with his Banshees. He saw everything already, and it was like...
Oh, you think it's a mule drop?
It's basically letting Eon know, hey, I know what you're doing, mate. Just in case anyone didn't think so, now you know. Oh my god. Crazy, puppy.
Just in case you thought drones were in charge of the Banshees.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have another link drop here into the main base. Only 3 links this time, but hey, you know, 3 links can pick off some of these weakened SCVs. That's exactly what they'll do. 1 SCV goes down.
Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, you're not going to mind that with 3 Lings, and you get a full scout of the main on top of that. That's very decent, and yeah, I think that's a really cool move, that Ling drop. Surprised we don't see it more.
100%. We need to see it more. It's so kind of unorthodox. It comes out of left field, can really catch a Terran off guard. It's not quite as common as maybe it should be. But another thing that isn't quite common is Roach Hydra from Eon.
Yeah, Roach Hydra is interesting versus Terran.
Old school.
You basically just make Marine tank and you just A-move it. I don't really understand how it's meant to work.
Yeah.
I don't really see it surviving a 2-2 push.
It's a composition that used to exist a long time ago. It used to actually be meta in Heart of the Swarm, but that was back in the day when yeah, things were a little bit different.
I mean, I think you need at least Vipers or Infestors to make it work.
I agree. Like, this is such a ground-based composition here, and trying to break these siege lines is going to be very, very kind of reliant on outpositioning these siege tanks and trying to get on top of them as well. I mean, Vindicta, he does unsiege, and the army's going to be pushing in, but okay, no, Eon does go for it.
Yeah, this stylistic matchup helps. This matchup stylistically is quite nice for Vindicta, just because he is the kind of player that's put a lot of effort into his late game and is fairly comfortable sitting back against a player that's willing to be a bit more aggressive. It's an important thing to work on, and it's something that, it's that Maru mindset of it doesn't really matter if I get behind in the early game because I'll catch up in the later game, and he's not really minding taking a bit of a risk by not hitting his timings as aggressively. But here we go. We just see Hellions going across the map. Sees no drones at the fort, so he's going to be feeling very comfortable right now.
Yeah, exactly. But his army is still moving out as well. He could probably just sit back and chill if he really wanted to. Meanwhile, another link drop into the main base, but at the same time, Vindicta's main army is pushing in towards the third.
Yeah, he drops his scan, sees the army's completely out of position from those Hellions and will be attacking. The link drop getting a decent amount of damage, but the reinforce will eventually clean this up. And meanwhile, we do have Eon trying to take a little bit of a fight here, but there's just too many tanks for him to engage into.
Yeah, exactly. We can't push up this ramp. We have another scan as well, so Vindicta does spot the army. He is going to be able to reposition his Marines to protect those tanks. And Eon behind this isn't going into a Lunker Den. He's going into a Spire and an Infestation Pit. So once again, looking to tech switch, but it's such an expensive tech switch, and I mean, he's already lost his third.
Yeah, he certainly has. And I mean, behind this, Vindicta going to be going up into that Ghost Academy. 2-2 on the way. His 2-2 is a little bit behind, to be fair. If there's any timing that the Zerg had, it might have been this 2-2 here, as he is massing Hydras, and he has quite a lot. This could get a little bit scary.
He does have a lot of Hydras. He's getting ready for a surround as well. He's going to be coming in from behind the army, trying to get on top of those tanks. Lings are coming to reinforce, which I do love. I do think Lings are definitely something that's missing here, and Vindicta is unsieging. This is spotted by Eon.
Oh, okay. This is a very aggressive movement coming out from Vindicta, and he could be punished for it.
Yeah, here we go. Eon's diving on top of this army for a second there. The tanks were on siege. The Hydras are trying to break on through, but these Hydras are still so squishy as well. He's going to be able to clean it up.
Yeah, very awkward angle to engage into, but still has more than enough to take this fight behind this Vindicta. Just been comfortably macroing on up, has a good amount of Marines back at home. Losing that tank count does hurt a little, but he is continuing to pump 2 at a time out of those factories.
Yeah, and unfortunately, even though Eon cleaned up that army, it was a very inefficient trade. It was a very costly trade as well, and Eon doesn't have the drone count to be able to sustain those losses. Once again, the Hydra army melts.
Oh, a ghostly trade for Costa.
See. And again, that's kind of the reason why we don't really see this composition too often. I say too often because Dark has meddled around with like Roach into Lurker before, but like the Hydras are only a stepping stone really for Lurkers. Never stays on it. Eon kind of taking a differing approach here, and yeah, he's struggling with it.
Yeah, I don't hate massing up Hydras with Hydraling Bane just because it's really hard to get on top of them, and that DPS really adds to the composition. But with a composition like this where you can actually fight them pretty easily just because of not having the deterrence of those Banes, it doesn't quite work as well.
Yeah, exactly. They don't complement each other as much, at least in this matchup. Meanwhile, we do see another massive June drop into the main base. The tanks are standing strong here, and once again, the Hydras are struggling to get on top of them. It looks like they barely will.
Yeah, they will, but at what cost? Everything is burning, everything's going down. The Terran Maulin doubling the supply of the Zerg, and he will just be stimming on in and rolling over him here.
That's what Costa.
He's gonna roll him up like a kebab, like a gyros.
Oh, like a gyro?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called. As the army's gonna be sleeping on forward here, the Roach, what few Roaches that were left do get annihilated. Now, once again, the Hydra exposed.
Oh, Giannis.
Vindicta will take the series 2-1.
Oh, I shouldn't bring this up, but it just came straight to my mind, so I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh.
Was it Eon that Special got really mad at for not GGing him and then just like BM the shit out of him?
I think it was Eon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
All right. So we're now 3 for 5 on no GGs.
Oh my god. Fun fact, we casted this actually. There was a little bit of drama. I think it was during the qualifiers for, I think it was DreamHack, the DreamHack Latin America. No, maybe it was the TSO qualifiers. But there was a qualifier where Special was up against Eon, and Special actually off-raced. He off-raced his Protoss, and Eon beat him.
Yeah.
And Special got
It was
really
the same
upset.
event, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he milled him and that, yeah.
Oh my god. That's
That's a bit of drama. I like a
yeah,
bit of drama.
it's fine. It's fine. Oh my god. Regardless, GG, well played to Vindicta. He will take the series 2-1. But yeah, it was I was sweating a little bit, especially after the first game, but Eon, that may just be his go-to ZBT opener. We saw that he has different variations, and we saw that he can kind of transition out of it, but the transitions, they aren't necessarily seamless. They aren't too clean.
Yeah, it's good to know if I'm ever playing on US server at 3 a.m. again. It's a tidy -40.
There you go. Oh my god. I mean, your scouting has to be as good as Mig's though, because again, Vindicta, a lot of his scans were just so
No. We just guess. We just guess and hard counter.
No, mate, we just
That's how we do on NA. We guess and we hard blind counter.
You're an animal. You really are a part of the NA ladder. Oh, no.
It's over.
Well, speaking of a part of the NA ladder, we have our next series here, and this is going to be a battle of the Titans, a battle of the best Terrans in North America. We're going to be getting into Future versus Vindicta.
Oh, let's go. This is one that definitely seen it quite a few times, and it's always a tense battle.
Oh yeah, often as TVTs can be. It has slowly evolved over time, so we'll see if Future has been keeping up with the changes in the meta, but because he's been active recently, I'm sure he has been.
Yeah. So here's the deal with NA TVT.
Oh.
Basically, just depends what mood the two players are in. Sometimes we're going to have a very proper, correct TVT where they play, you know, the current styles, current metas, and it's all very sensible and tidy. And sometimes one of the players just doesn't really feel like doing that, and we have clown builds. So I think it's just as likely that we get a complete clown fest, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for Platinum Heroes, this is Vindicta.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent. We have the American Terran representing Alpha X. It is Future. Boy, the battle of the NA Terrans. And despite, you know, us having you know, some cheeky builds overall so far tonight in the previous series and the previous matchups, I don't expect this series to be as crazy.
Yeah, probably not. In Future here, okay, this is an interesting little build that he's got going. A little bit of a mind game here. He is going to be going for a Rax expand, but he's hiding the Rax just to throw Vindicta off a little bit here. So if Vindicta doesn't fully scout throughout the whole base, he could definitely be a little confused by this.
Yeah, definitely, as the SCV is going to be moving out across the map for Vindicta to get into the main of Future, and hopefully he is able to come across the kind of fake proxy here that Future has set up.
Yeah, so Vindicta definitely being extra safe here, going for that scout, and behind this as well, one thing to point out is that Future himself is not really scouting because he doesn't want to give this away.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to try and sell this story. Across the map, Vindicta is going for a double gas opener instead, so a little bit more aggressive. The SCV gets in, and Vindicta will scout the main.
Oh, I see. This is so clever, actually. The racks being back here means the SCV scout has to go all the way into the base and find it, which means that it can't block the CC from going down. That's very cute.
There you go, there you go. So there is more of a method behind the madness there. The CC is thrown down. It is undisturbed by that SCV of Vindicta. And yeah, now Vindicta's fully aware of what his opponent's up to.
Yeah, there we go. So Future going for a little bit of a gamble there. We'll be getting away with it. And ooh, the way that the SCV is passing off to the side here, I think he might go for a proxy starport here.
Oh, he definitely could. He is keeping that SCV alive. And there we go. Starport is thrown down for Vindicta.
Okay, so this is most likely going to be a Mass Reaper Hellion build. And the starport's going to be for a medevac that can ferry those Hellions into the main here.
Yeah, exactly. So the Hellions in towards the main. We're going to have the Reapers that can obviously get into the main as well. We'll see if Future can catch wind of this. He is preparing himself defensively. Like, we have a bunker set up at the natural. We still have our production kind of spread out a little bit as well, which will help give him or provide him a little bit more vision of his own main.
Yeah, helps keep him safe as well from any tank drops or anything like that. At the same time, we are going to be getting just that 1-1 setup from Future here. And yeah, what makes what Vindicta's doing here so good is that you just have so few units and they're spread so thin when you go for this build as the Terran that Future is going for. He's going to be a little bit... sorry, it's going to also come down a little bit to how greedy he is. Sometimes people will make a Viking here to be extra safe, but oh, actually scouts it with the Reaper. That's huge.
Yeah, the Reaper does come across the proxy starport. He's fully aware, and you were talking about getting anti-air. The Cyclone is on the way. The Viking as well. Future is preparing himself, and now Vindicta is on a bit of a timer, or you know, the jig is up.
Yeah, he's going to be throwing down a bunker in the main as well, so that's a really nice way to make up for the fact that he has a lot less units than usual. And Vindicta, having been scouted early, just going to be extending it straight down the middle here. Pretty quick SCV pull comes out from Future, so he's doing a very good job defensively so far.
Yeah, he really is. One Reaper of Vindicta already going down as well. The SCVs have been saved. The Cyclone gets a lock on as well, and ooh, we'll get a Hellion.
Yeah, everything going down here. Did make that Viking after all, especially after getting that scout. Cyclone's going to be able to finish off the medevac, and everything here gets taken out, and we haven't lost a single worker. This is disaster for Vindicta.
I was afraid to look, but the units lost tab does tell a bit of a story here. Future traded insanely well against the opener of Vindicta, and Vindicta's doubling down. He's got a Raven on the way, but Future is aware of the proxy location. The Cyclone is on route and is looking to maybe even get a lock on that Raven once it pops out.
Yeah, this is a really well-timed move out, and could potentially be seeing this go down. Cyclone does show up here for Vindicta, so he will be able to push this back. Oh, even takes it out.
Yeah, very nicely done, Vindicta. He does get a bit of a win under his belt there by killing that Cyclone at least, but Future still has quite a bit of a lead. His army is looking to reposition as he does head back towards that starport.
Yeah, Future going to look to put a bit of pressure on here and try to take out this starport. I mean, he's already massively ahead here, but if he can take out that starport, that is pretty much game.
Exactly. We have a second Raven on the way. Vindicta's going to be coming on in as well. He does have enough vision for a disable. He will get it on the tank.
Yeah, Vindicta actually throwing down a second starport back at home as well. So looks like either predicting that this starport could be in a little bit of trouble, or he might just be going for a 2 starport all in off the back of this. It's a pretty common all in to follow this up with, just because, I mean, you can't really bring the starport home. You have to bring it out here because you can't be late with your Ravens. Yeah. Which means that playing out a macro game's a bit difficult, because at some stage you're going to have to bring the starport home or you're going to lose it. So I do understand the idea of just 2-base all-inning off here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Vindicta. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer to regather that energy on those Ravens. At the same time, we have a Liberator going into the main, and there's not really much that shoots up here for Vindicta.
Yeah, beautiful move from Future, and that is awful here for Vindicta. He has to wait for that Cyclone to come back home, and meanwhile, just powering along his Future. That third is finished. His natural is completely mining as well. He's just so far ahead in so many ways.
Yeah, the worker counts are insane. The disparity is insane between the players. But, actually, I was going to say that Vindicta is still going to be committing to his all-in, but he does have a third CC on the way that was spotted by Future. Maybe that will lull him into a false sense of security, as Vindicta is moving out with a Raven advantage.
Yeah, he has a lot of Ravens here, and he has to make this do damage. He's behind 20 workers. The third is about to come down for Future, so this is his moment to make something happen.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be slow sieging here. The tanks slowly leapfrogging forward as well. The Ravens are getting ready with their disables. There we go. The first disable on the forward tank as Vindicta will be able to siege up in range.
Yeah, so just going to take these tanks out one at a time here. Very slowly and methodically.
Very slow methodical play, as you were saying. Oh no, not quite in range of the second tank.
Almost.
Ugh.
Almost. It's pretty hard to find that angle there.
Yeah.
But looks like the second tank will be in range.
There we go, there we go. So the second tank of Future is going to be going down, but this is costing a lot of energy and it's giving Future a lot of time. We have turrets being thrown down. We have Vikings being landed to save them from the Vikings of Vindicta.
Oh, man, how have I never thought to do that? That's so smart. These turrets definitely going to help a lot with those Vikings and makes the Liberators a little bit less scary too. But Future, he's actually cut off from his base here, so he's going to be going for a little bit of a Marine run by him. This is a really cool move, but there is a tank in position. It is going to at least stop the Marines from running straight up and in, but yeah, this gets very awkward now for Vindicta. And Future's going to be taking out his starport too. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
The starport's going to be going down. We do see the Marines getting or disrupting the economy here of Vindicta as well. And Vindicta, he's being slowed down by these turrets. 3 turrets now already done at the natural. And Vindicta, he just can't break through.
Yeah, so all of these moves in sequence means that Future has cut off any potential reinforcements for Vindicta, and now he is setting up a giant surround. This is an absolutely stunning handling of this by Future, and here we go. He's going to be coming in from all angles with Stim finished up. What a beautiful move here. Is it going to be enough though?
It looks like it will. The Marines, they stim on 4. They take down every single tank and the Marines with the 360 surround. Future handling this scenario so well.
Yeah, really impressive play. Very heads up. Very good planning on the fly coming out from Future.
Exactly, and now he's just rushing across the map. We do see 3 Ravens coming in for some auto turret harass, which is nice, but what do we have at home to defend? We've got 2 tanks for Vindicta, we've got a Cyclone, we've got a couple of Vikings as well, but your Future is just looking to drop on in, or is deterred by the Vikings.
Yeah, looks like he's going to try to siege up on the low ground, but can't quite find an angle yet. I mean, behind this as well, he still has a decent worker lead. It was shaved off a little bit over the course of that attack by Vindicta. I mean, the supplies are looking much more even now, so I think it's safe to say that that was a reasonably successful attack from Vindicta, but I mean, surviving from here is going to be difficult. Getting a third mining almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Vindicta is just contained here to 2 bases, at least for the time being. Vindicta, though, he's actually making 3 Liberators at a time, and Liberators are going to be a way for him to try and break out of this contain.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I mean, behind the tank lines, he is going to be able to set that up. And yeah, 3 at a time is kind of crazy as we do see he's going to be going for a bit of lib harass too. So the classic Migs libs trying to get himself back into this.
Yeah, he's able to pick off a couple of drones a couple of SCVs in the end. The 2 Liberators have arrived. They're going to be able to siege up and force the unsiege of Future.
Yeah, I mean, Future's going to try to make this take as long as possible. He wants to be really annoying. He wants to delay that landing of the third. And the economic advantage should start to become very apparent at this point, with that third having not been mining for so long.
It really should be, as 1 tank of Future is going to go down. Future is still just fully saturated on these 3 bases. Vindicta finally will be able to land his own 3rd base. Oh, and yeah, Future from here is forced to back off, at least for the time being, but he's just reinforcing everything across the map. Oh my god.
Yeah, Future's going all in now. He's not making any more SCVs. He's not making a 4th base. He has got that full saturation on his 3 bases, and he is happy to leave it at that. And he's going to be trying to break Vindicta here.
Yeah, we'll see if he can. Vindicta's kind of spread a little bit too thin here. A couple of his forces are at the 3rd base, and here we go. Future's going to try and dive on top of these Liberators. 1 will go down.
Yeah, he's going to be charging straight on in. The Liberator's doing a lot of damage. Good disables coming out from the Ravens as well. And these Marines are actually getting minced. I think Future's in a lot of trouble here. And Vindicta behind this is going into mech. So if he can solidify his position now, I think he might actually be able to win this game.
Wow, Future Vindicta, he completely cleans it up. At the same time, he goes for some Hellion harass as well. This used to be a full mining base, by the way. 10 or so SCVs got roasted. Oh my god.
Wow, Vindicta has actually gotten himself into a really solid position in this game. He is way ahead on workers. He was so far behind when he went for that attack, and despite Future going for an absolutely stunning cleanup, Vindicta, with his harass and with his defensive prowess, has gotten himself back into this one.
And once again, another heli run by here at the natural base as well. More SCVs are going to be going down at the same time. Future is setting up for a massive doom drop into the natural base. He's going to be going over some of these turrets, but the tank's already in position for Migs.
Oh, the turrets are there, the tanks are there, the Vikings are there, and it feels like Future has thrown this one away, unfortunately, but incredible defensive play from Vindicta, and what a game.
Wow, GG, well played. Vindicta will be taking that first game. How? After such a disastrous start, he brings it all back, and he puts a point on the board.
Mate, that was wild, but despite all that, props to Future. That deal, the way that he dealt with that initial push was really, really beautiful. That was great stuff, and just unfortunately got a bit too cavalier fighting back. I mean, fighting Liberators with Marines is always a weird one, because it feels like you should be able to just gun them down, but unless you have like 30, 40 Marines, you actually lose a lot of them when you fight Liberators.
Yeah, like that dive looked decent on paper, I guess, but you know, don't underestimate the amount of tanks that were behind that. The disables as well from Vindicta were quite solid just to reinforce his defensive line, and yeah, it can be really difficult pushing into these kind of entrenched positions in TVT. You know, that's kind of what leads towards, you know, some of the more like slower play, but there's a reason for that, right? Just because, yeah, it can be so difficult to break.
Yeah, definitely. But all right, I'm pretty excited for the rest of the series now.
Let's go, Puffy. Let's go, because game number 2 is upon us, and it is going to be taking place on Dragon Scales.
Alrighty, so Dragon Scales, if I have to pick any map that's good for TBT shenanigans, I think this is the most insane one. Just because the main is so huge, there's so many angles to attack into. The third is incredibly exposed, so it is very difficult to play defensively on this map. As here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, sending that SCV straight out here for a proxy Rax. It is Vindicta.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent, the American Terran, the yellow Terran representing Alpha X. It is Future.
Do the Alpha X players have to play with yellow?
You know, Future, he's just repping his team. You know, he's been on Alpha X for a long time. A long time, Poppy, a long time. Also, yes, it's in their contract.
Beautiful.
Their pay gets docked for every game they don't play as yellow. You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
What if they just don't play?
Oh, smudge. It's very similar to our contract with Dolan, if you remember. Dolan also.
Oh yeah, Dolan has to wear yellow.
Yeah.
Everyone else doesn't have to, just Dolan.
It's only in his contract, yeah.
Yeah. He has to quack periodically while playing the game.
Thankfully, he already did that. You know, so it was a very seamless transition. You know,
natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes it.
he likes it, Puppy. He likes the quack. As we do see this proxy 2x coming to fruition here for Vindicta. Oh, actually scouting his half of the map as well with that other SCV, so a little bit paranoid that he may end up in like a proxy versus proxy scenario.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that. I guess he just doesn't want to send an SCV to scout the main because he doesn't want to give away that he's doing this, which I guess is fair enough. It isn't going to be scouted for now by Future. It's in a very safe location here as well. This is pretty conservative from Vindicta to have it this far away. So he's obviously making sure that this Reaper doesn't scout it. And yeah, there we go. Future checks around for it, doesn't see it. So Vindicta's done his homework here.
Yeah, the obvious locations are going to be at the third base locations here, whether it's a triangular third or the linear one. Future does check. He feels safe and sound, and he is going to be progressing with his build. There we go, CC on the low ground. The Reapers are going to be able to dip in, but the factory just barely finishes.
Yeah, factory finishes. Oh, he gets on top of the second Reaper, but a bit of miss micro there, a bit of move command, and he won't get that first shot that he needed.
He will not, but he will get the building SCV on the low ground at
Ooh.
least. Oh, he almost... Oh, can he get it? Can he get it? Oh, he will.
You should be able to get both here. A little bit of an unfortunate grenade. Oh, and the Hellions going to clean everything up. That's very unfortunate timing. It was so close to perfect there.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, the reinforcement came in 1 second too late, or Vindicta didn't realize the opportunity that was given to him. And now with this Hellion, Future is going to be able to hold on here as they trade Reapers.
Yeah, so just going to be trading back and forth. Not going to be able to take out the Hellion just yet, but there you go. It does go down. This Reaper might be able to take out both here. Yeah, both Reapers going to be going down here for Vindicta. And overall, this should be a lot better for Future, just because not too many SCVs got taken out. And I mean, you're going to need to take out, I believe it's 4 or 5 SCVs to be even with this build.
And as we can see, Vindicta, he only killed 1 SCV. It was the building SCV on the low ground here, and Future has been able to hold on. He's been able to stop this from snowballing. As I say that, 3 Reapers are going to dip into the main base, and there's not really much here to defend, so Vindicta is going to get more damage done.
Yeah, a little bit reckless by Future here to send his units out that far, and he will be punished for it.
Yeah, he definitely will be, as... Ooh, once again, we trade 1 Reaper for 1 Reaper between our players. It looks like Vindicta was able to get 2 more SCVs with that. 3 in total.
Okay, so we're not in the worst spot here if we can keep the Reapers alive, but no, 3 Hellions. That is going to be the Reaper going down, and Vindicta in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. We do have a job zooming across the map. Future looking to get into the mineral line of Vindicta now to kind of have him reap what he sowed back at home. We have a Cyclone that should be out in time. It's a couple seconds away.
Yeah, I mean, these Hellions are not going to be very effective dealing with the Cyclone. We do have some nice pickup macro coming out from Future, and SCVs being pulled to fight Hellions, not what you want to see at all. That pickup macro is so quick from Future. He's still got it.
He's still got it, Bob, as he preserves his Hellions for a couple extra volleys here. They will eventually get cleaned up, but Vindicta did just lose 9 SCVs.
Yeah, we got a Viking as well, so we can take out the medevac, because the medevac gets F2'd back anyway, so that will be going down. Glad to see that 6k Terrans do that as well. I feel a bit less bad.
Let's go. Everyone F2s, Bobby. It's okay. It's okay. As Vindicta from here is going to be looking to try and take a fast 3rd CC to catch back up, but likewise, so is Future. So, yeah, the bases are going to be quite lined up with each other. Vindicta going to be slipping into the main with that Rax as well. Try to get a scout, try to get an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, great read of the situation by Future, skipping out a lot on his unit production to go straight into that 3rd CC, so he will be able to get a pretty decent lead here.
Yeah, exactly. He will, as Viking production is also commencing here for Future as well, so he's not going to be necessarily going into drop heavy play. He's looking to just solidify himself on his side of the map. Likewise, this would be amazing as well because Vindicta is going for a Banshee.
Yeah, that he is, and this Banshee timing unfortunately isn't quite going to work out. Okay, never mind. He's going for Banshee speed, so it's going to be mass Banshee. Fascinating.
Okay, Hyperflight Rotors is on the way here. We're not going to stop Banshee production, and I don't see this too often in TVT as...
Asher. Oh no. Hello? Oh, it's me. Oh, I'm back.
Stay with me, Poppy. Don't leave me in a TVT. No.
Nah, you'll be alright. It's a very technical TVT,
It's
but
true.
you'll be fine.
It's true. Stay with me, Poppy. Stay with me. Oh. Don't leave me alone with all these cyclones. Yeah, we're getting into this, and have you seen this too often here in TVT? Like to commit into Banshees like this?
Oh. Often this is paired with Cyclone Mech.
Yeah.
I've seen it a little bit on the new patch. I haven't seen it look good yet. I will say that.
Yeah, I've seen Special mess around with Banshee Cyclone. I've seen it in TVZ as well. I think I've seen it excel in TVZ.
Yeah, it's not bad in TVZ.
Yeah, for sure. But in TVT, this is something just a little bit different. The scan is gonna miss the Banshees, thankfully, so Vindicta is gonna be able to bunch them up. But alas, it is unfortunate that, of course, Future is also banking up Vikings here with his Raven.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that makes it weird in TVZ is you have some very hard counters. Basically, Battle Mech is not usually the most viable in TVT unless they're going mech, which, fortunately for him, Future actually is going mech. But against, and yeah, maybe he saw that as well. But against Bio, I mean, they can just make Marauders with concussive, and Cyclones just get shredded. And the Viking Raven combo does really well against Banshees, but the main thing that these Banshees are going to do is they're just going to look around for loose tanks. Just any tanks that are sitting there undefended, maybe a few SEVs here and there. They're just going to dip it in and out and just pick away at anything that's exposed.
Yeah, I mean, what's important is that despite all the skins, Future hasn't seen the starport on that tech lab. He hasn't seen anything researching, so he's not ready for this. But oh, there we go. We do have a scan. The Banshees have finally been revealed, and Future can start to prepare here. As up until this point, his bases were quite undefended, no turrets, but he now has the option to throw them down.
Yeah, the Spotter Marine did see those Banshees, so he does get the extra check here. But yeah, here we go. We can see Vindicta, he's going to be abusing his speed here. It's one of his best attributes, and he's going to be using that to just try to pull Future apart with this Battle Mech style. I think it is a style that suits him extremely well. Yeah, there we go. We can see how the Vikings, they don't always solve the problem here because you have to be searching around for these Banshees. And I mean, the Banshees are going to get trapped. They're probably going to go down, but taking out a tank or two is not a bad deal though.
It's not a bad trade overall, especially when Future's entire goal here is to bank up or build up that tank count, as the Banshee is going to try and escape, and of course the Banshee, oh no, the Banshee does outspeed the Vikings, but it's left idle.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a misclick there, so really good work to get it out of trouble, but unfortunately doesn't keep it out of trouble. And here we go, the Macfield Cyclones going to be making this move across the map. Very expensive here, but I mean, Future, he's in a really good spot. He has a lot of tanks, and this is a good way to a good no-nonsense way to deal with this kind of style.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, Vindicta did kind of come into this behind, so he's been trying to catch back up, and unfortunately, Future isn't giving him that time. Future's already in his face. He's pushing out across the map with everything he has. Tanks are trying to get into position here, but Vindicta, oh god, we'll see if he can hold on.
Yeah, Vikings going to land take out that tank. We have a good siege as well. We do have the Banshee here to try to clean up the tank. So one of those going to be going down, but the second one outside of range of the scans. And does Future have a scan? Okay, does have an extra scan, but one more tank will be going down.
Yeah, slowly but surely that tank count is being chipped away at the same time. The Cyclones get some lock-ons on these Vikings. 2 Vikings go down.
Yeah, another couple of Vikings go down. I mean, these Cyclones, they do kill these mech units so quickly. It's just very difficult to judge where you're at in terms of these tank lines. You can't be running into tank lines with these.
Speaking of, we see the Vikings landing on top of the tanks here. Vindicta at the 3rd base, and with that, he's going to force the siege. At the same time, that one Banshee dips back in, gets another tank.
Yeah, one tank's going to be going down. Scan's going down every which way. Just trying to keep an eye on the tank lines. Looks like a little bit of a mistimed move from Vindicta. Maybe thought that the tanks were unsieged there.
Yeah, he loses, I think that was 3 Cyclones, a bit of a hefty loss for Vindicta, as the tank line is nothing to scoff at. It is insane with 6 tanks outside his own natural base, but Vindicta is happily mining here, and I love it. He's throwing down some turrets as well to help support his position, but Future's pushing in.
Yeah, Future is pushing in. Scan's going to be finding out these tanks, but the tanks, there are so many of them. They are going to be getting the siege on top. Looks like, yeah, okay, Future does just have that scan, but most of these tanks are going to be going down here. Only 2 remain. It's just these Liberators. They're going to be very difficult to deal with while the tanks are still here.
I'll be honest, I'm really impressed with how well Vindicta's been able to trade. Like, he's killed a lot of tanks, but alas, he's going to try one last attempt for those Liberators. They're crazy. Oh.
Yeah, the Liberator's just a bit too strong in this situation, and very nice little mech all in from Future to take this one down.
GG, well played. Despite the mech style, despite the tank Viking style of Future, as you were saying, a very assertive kind of timing there, just pushing out across the map, knowing that Vindicta was still in the midst of ramping up in his production and he didn't want to deal with this mass Banshee harassment. I could definitely see a world where it could work. I mean, it kind of was working. I was, again, very impressed with how maneuverable Vindicta was with his units. Unfortunately, just a rough timing there for him.
Yeah, I think that was just a reactionary all-in from Future, and it's kind of a mech version of what we saw Oliveira do against Mario at the World Finals, where if people do these kind of Banshee styles, that's committing so much gas early on, and you can kind of just go kill them before they get too many tanks.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw that Vindicta, he was working on his tank out, but alas, just didn't have enough in time in the end. And now we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3.
Yeah, so I feel like we're talking about it a bit at the start, and I feel like we have had a bit of that clown variation of TVT.
I like it, Poppy. I like it. Oh. I mean, they played mech, and they didn't play it out slow. It was beautiful.
No, he didn't even get upgrades.
Yeah.
He was not messing around.
Yeah.
As here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map for Platinum Heroes in the blue. This is Vindicta.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient System, we have as opponent, we have the American Terran player representing Alpha X. It is Future.
Mate, are you getting excited for the Barbie movie?
I saw the...
I'm unironically going to watch it.
Yeah, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. I did see the teaser trailer today. I did see it. And I was very perplexed as to what it was. Like...
Yeah. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's going to be or what it's going to be about, but it does actually look pretty good.
I mean, I'll watch it. I'll watch it because if it comes out on Netflix, I'll watch it. But yeah, like, I guess it is a teaser trailer, but like, it was very plot light. Like, I feel like they showed us a bunch of scenes that happened like in the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like, you know, like
I think that's just gonna be the whole movie.
No shot. No way.
I think it's just gonna be random scenes. It might not be much plot.
I mean, if you saw the trailer, the one thing that they showed us was that they were like driving off, and there was a sign that said like "real world this way" or something. So it's like, I guess they're gonna like break out into the real world, whatever that means. I don't know.
Like Toy Story.
Yeah. when they go to the real world, they're just dolls. They're actually just just lifeless dolls.
Yes.
Oh, let's go. But it's got what's his name? It's got Iron Fist. No, the other one. Shang-Chi. That's it. Shang-Chi, right?
Sure.
Oh, yo, mate, you're crazy. He plays StarCraft. Did you see that? Mate.
He's not Ryan Gosling though. Who cares?
God damn it.
There's only one can.
Shout out to I want to say Suimi Lu. Oh god, I can't even. I'm not gonna try and butcher his name, but he was actually recently at the Frost Giant studio trying out their RTS. It's pretty sick.
Oh, now I know who you're saying. You're just saying it weird.
Yeah, how do you pronounce his name? Sorry.
Suimi Liu.
Yeah, him. That's what I said. I said Shang-Chi. Yeah.
Fuck.
Man, you're crazy. You're crazy. I can't handle you, Asher. Like, what do you want to? How do you know him? What do you know him from?
I just know he exists.
You're like, oh, he's a Frost Giant guy. He's like,
yeah. I just saw people were excited that he played Frost Giant, so
yeah,
it's like, I guess he's someone.
Yeah, God, he's Ken. He's Ken in Barbie World. That's how you know him now. He's one of the Kens.
Alright. Well, he's no Ryan Gosling, but good for him. As we do have Future going to be pushing away this initial push from Vindicta, so looks like Future just playing a very standard safe build, and Vindicta actually going for a reactor first here, so there's a lot of pressure, a lot of potential for pressure, and he is going to be continuing to make Reapers and Hellions, going up to 6 and 3. This is I was thinking maybe he was going to go for this Mari build where you get 4 and 2 and then do a tank drop, but he's just going to keep spamming Reapers and Hellions.
Yeah, exactly. Just non-stop Reapers and Hellions coming out here. So we'll see if Vindicta can find a use for them. As of course, he will have an overwhelming amount compared to Future. Meanwhile, as I try to cast, because of you, I've got the Barbie Girl song just non-stop in my brain right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh my god, this Vindicta is going to be pushing on in here with 6 Reapers and 3 Hellions.
No, he doesn't
oh my
see the,
god.
he did see the mine. Very nice. smooth moves coming out from Vindicta here as we do have that bunker at the front. That's really nice. That's a good reaction to what's going on here. And looks like Future does have enough to deal with this push in general. So Vindicta is going to try to take out as many SCVs as he can.
Yeah, the Cyclone pops out in time. He had plenty of units here in position. Everything gets cleaned up. And in the end, Vindicta, he was able to get 8 SCVs.
Yeah, not bad. So he's got himself a tidy little SCV lead. And as long as he can hold this counterattack, he should be in a good spot.
Big if, mate. We got a lot of units coming across the map for Future. What do we have at home to defend? We have 1 Cyclone. We have a tank, sorry, a 2nd Cyclone on the way as well as a Raven. But they need a little bit more time here in Future. I don't think he's going to give him that time.
Yeah, nice sharp response coming out as oh, it's going to be Magfield again coming out from Vindicta. So he really wants to make this work here.
I want him to make it work, and we'll see if he can as he gets a lock on the Raven. But oh no, the Cyclone goes down.
Yeah, Cyclone goes down, a bit of a move command as well. Sees the mine, he's going to try to bait it with some SCVs, and he does get a bit of a drag here, but oh, he's going to be losing a lot more SCVs here than Future did.
Yeah, exactly. We can see Future taking the worker lead. He will get cleaned up, but Migs did lose another 9 SCVs.
Ooh, brutal. Lost a lot of mining time as well, and Future, nice little response to get himself back in this game. 2 players, very evenly matched, of course.
Yeah, exactly. As no, Migs, he cancelled Macfield, and he needed to, but unfortunately, we won't be getting that style from Vindicta this game. He is going into tank production, going into Viking production, and the second
Going double starport again, yeah, getting a bit crazy with it.
Boy, so
he just didn't want to play TVT today.
At least not against Future, and I don't blame him. So he's going to be going for a bit of an all-in here with the double starport production, going to try and take control of the skies. Before that happens, we see a drop being set up here by Future.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to be absolutely sidestepping Vindicta here. Vindicta does have Ravens, so he should be able to deal with this. It's just very awkward, and he has to wait for the disable energy to build up.
Yeah, he needs a little bit more time for those disables. There we go. We have an unsiege even from Future. They're respecting the position here of Vindicta quite a bit. He isn't going to lose too much as a result.
Yeah, clever stuff there. We'll be getting out of the way of the attack of Vindicta here, and keeps those tanks alive, which keeps him in this game. So, good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, nice hot pickup micro there as well. We have a couple of reinforcements, and Vindicta, he doesn't want to chase him up this ramp. It looks like he will, but he will take a tank shot to the face.
He's hot puppy.
Oh.
As yeah, it's going to be pretty similar to that first game. Mostly on Vindicta to use the advantage that he has with the tech air units, the Ravens, the Liberators, to make this, very technical push happen across the map here. And this is a awkward little dance that they have to go for here.
Yeah, I guess the big difference here is that Future doesn't really have too many Vikings or any Vikings to speak of. So these Liberators are going to have a little bit more freedom. There we go. They do take down a Marine. They do force another siege here as Vindicta is slowly edging on closer.
Yeah, he is, and looks like actually gets there in range of that tank. I think Future must not have had a scan ready to go at that time, so he is going to be put in a very awkward position. And didn't have a scan at all, just a little bit off a scan.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there for Future, but here we go. Vindicta continuing to push on forward here. More Vikings coming across the map. Still only working with a single Liberator, so it's going to take a little bit of time for Vindicta to really force his way through, but he is at least, making some ground.
Yeah, so he's going to be trying to rotate over here. Future actually has a lot of Marines, so Vindicta has to be very careful here not to get caught unsieged.
Oh, he really does. Gets another tank shot off. Does go for a scan. Does see the Marine army rotating over towards the left-hand side. So Vindicta is fully aware. Meanwhile, the tanks are left a little bit more exposed. But, tank shots go off.
Yeah, fantastic disables though, and quite a few of these tanks are going to be in trouble here.
Oh, 2 tanks go down. Oh my god, almost gets a third as well. Meanwhile, Future was in the middle of going for a counterattack with his Marines, but he turns around.
Yeah, he does turn around. He's going to get this around here. Stim is finished, so once again, going to be able to get a massive cleanup here. Good little volleys coming out from the tanks of Vindicta, and actually cleans up the north side here with those landed Vikings. So this is going to work out a lot better for him than it did in that last game. Wow. 2 more tanks go down as well, so really nice trades with Vindicta. That was looking like it was going to be similar to that I want to say, I was going to say Inside and Out. What's the map called again?
Game 1. Is it Babylon?
Yeah, Babylon.
Thankfully, we don't see the 360s around. Thankfully, this time Vindicta is prepared for
Wait, no.
it. He does handle it a lot better.
Royal Blood.
Royal Blood. That's, yeah, sorry. I was thinking of the one with the carpets. I think Babylon. God damn it.
I just had, every time I tried to picture that fight in my head, it was on Inside and Out. I don't know why.
Oh my god, it's been a long time.
They're kind of similar.
Yeah, it's true. It's been a while though. It's been a while. Oh my god, the medevac is gonna go down. Did you see a land there?
Crazy.
A siege on the Vikings, on the tanks. Ah.
Oh, and the Vikings absolutely shred. I mean, Vindicta taking some very efficient fights here in future, just miscalculating a little bit. I mean, that might be a little bit the time away from the game that you do. You kind of lose your eyes for estimating positions, and he is playing a bit crazy, to be fair.
What you're saying is he should wear his glasses.
Yes. I suppose I am.
As we just see a double jump coming in towards the natural base, but the army of Vindicta is in position. We're going to be seeing a lot of SCVs going down though.
Yeah, this entire mineral line pretty much is going to get melted here. Future just being so annoying, so aggressive with these Marines. Even going to take down this Liberator that, you know, did the harm to him of being in the way.
I mean, the Liberators were doing quite a lot earlier, so he gets a little bit of range there. Nice target firing as well in those SCVs as, oh my god, Future takes a 20, almost 20 worker lead. Yeah,
a lot of work is going down here, and he is starting to stretch this defense thin.
He really is, but now finally Vindicta has a little bit of room to breathe. He's still behind in that worker count. We have 2-2 on the horizon here for Future as well, but of course, does that really matter? Vindicta is going for a more mech all-in style. No upgrades, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, he is going to be going for mech here, and pretty much with Vindicta, this is why Future's just aping him, to be honest, is because he is in this position where basically he wants to stop him from getting a critical mass, but there we go, the drops have been found out. 2 of those going down immediately. That is a huge drop in the supply of Future, and yeah, I was just about to say, the way the Future's playing, it's all about momentum, it's all about stretching the defenses thin, finding that one weak point, and just eventually opening up other weak points by doing that, but it all relies on momentum. You have to get damage with every move that you make, and if you don't, you just fall so far behind, and now Future's moves, it's going to be really difficult to make them work because there's less follow-up.
Exactly, which means he's going to calm down here as he's going for another triple drop here on the left-hand side. This time, the Vikings are not in position. We do have an SCV. It will scout this in time. Vindicta is going to be able to reposition, but oh god, is he going to have enough here? A lot of his tanks are being left over at the third.
Yeah, I mean, he gets an angle here on a couple depots, and looks like Vindicta thinking that that CC is going to be in the way if he tries to go for a defense, so he's going to cancel that as well, and that's a nice bit of damage for Future, considering that he's got his 4th mining. So, I mean, as much as some of these moves of Future do look a little bit wasteful, he is buying himself a lot of map control, and he is getting a pretty big economic advantage.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where even though Future did lose a couple of drops, Vindicta doesn't really have enough to necessarily counterattack and be active on the map. Not yet, just because of how slow mech is and how far behind, at least when it comes to the upgrades, Vindicta is as well. We do see +1 ship attack on the way, a 2nd armory as well, so Vindicta is looking to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, everything has been delayed pretty heavily, only just getting those extra factories now, and he had to cancel that CC up close to finished, and Future here looking to continue to put on the pressure.
Yeah, we do have a force on the right-hand side. It looks like the Marines are kind of going to get scouted by these Hellions that are out on the map as well, so Vindicta is aware that he has to split up his army. He does have Vikings preparing themselves for a drop.
Yeah, and he's going to be sending a few Hellions to run by into that 3rd.
Does send them in that direction. They do get cleaned up though. Meanwhile, we do have a scan on the left-hand side. Vindicta does see the army of Future. At the same time, though, again, Future, he is looking to push in on the right as well.
Yeah, that he is. Takes out the sensor tower, so Vindicta going to be that much more in the dark, which is pretty scary, considering that the dark is full of units right now, in every single angle.
Pretty much, Future is setting up for a multi-pronged attack here. The Vikings may be straying a little bit too far. No, the Marines stay forward.
Ooh, yeah, very close there. Scan's going to be going down everywhere for Vindicta, seeing what's up, but gets caught unsieged over here at that third, and those tanks going to be going down. Future's going to be charging on in. We see a big anti-armor missile that he's going to be pushing him back for the meantime, but he should be able to deny the mining at least.
Yeah, the mining is going to be denied here. Future just has so much supply to work with. We see another Hellion run-by being set up by Vindicta, but we have reinforcements to clean that up, and Future, he's just going for a doom drop into the main.
Yeah, he has finally found those openings just by continuing to press and press and press, and he will be jumping on into the main here. Meanwhile, pressuring the natural with his second army.
Yeah, the tanks unsieged once again are going to get taken out, and Vindicta is being pulled apart left and right. He just can't keep up with what's going on. There's chaos in every single base of Vindicta. We do see a couple of exposed tanks from Future, but the Marines push on forward into the natural.
Yeah, Marine's going to be pushing forward, and this should all get cleaned up, but pretty expensive cleanup here for Vindicta. He does have his force in the air. He can send that out, and looking back at Future, is only just getting that 5th base up now. So, I mean, it is entirely possible that Vindicta can get himself back into this if he can stabilize that 4-base mining.
Yeah, like Vindicta has a comparable army to Future. The supplies aren't too much in favor of him, but the tanks are left a little bit exposed, and Future is just going to stim on forward.
Yeah, he runs straight on in, taking out plenty of these tanks here. Going to be taking out Vikings as well. I mean, this 3-3 bio absolutely shredding here.
Yeah, and any kind of advantage that Vindicta once had when it came to the tank count is kind of gone at this point. GG gets called, and Future will take the series 2-1. And we got a GG.
GG. Yeah. Yeah. I was having a look around. I don't know if he was necessarily... I guess more bio was coming.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was completely dead, though.
maybe not, but things were looking pretty dire for Vindicta. Does tap out in the end, and Future will be taking this series, and this is a pretty big win for Future, to be honest. Like, I was kind of thinking of Vindicta being the favorite coming into this group, but Future looking damn strong, and taking down Vindicta here, he could be looking to come out first in the group.
Yeah, 100%. So Future taking the 2-1 there, and yeah, gonna be looking pretty good. Depends how he goes up against the other guys, but he's looking strong. Definitely looking strong. It's a bit, I don't know. I feel like that TVT could have gone either way as well. It was a bit of a clown fest.
Yeah. We like those. We like those. So it's okay.
Oh yeah, of course. So
GG, well played to Future in the end, as we quickly take stock of the matchups of what has been happening so far. Creature having a bit of a rough go of it, but he's only played once. Same with Eon. Meanwhile, yeah, Future so far is looking on fire at the top of that group. Vindicta with a close second, but with our next series after the break, we're finally going to be seeing either Creature or Eon put a point on the board.
Oh, wonderful. Very excited to see Creature and Eon matchup.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. But before that happens, we're going to be going on a short break. You can take this moment to... What can people do, Asher?
Oh, I was going to say massage your ball. Train your disruptors.
Oh. You're an animal. Train your disruptors, hydrate your hydras, and stretch your roaches. In 5 minutes, we'll be back with the second half of Group D.
See you soon.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those lovely duct tapes. 3 in a row. You love to see them. That's half the duct tapes we have. I hope you guys enjoyed. We are back here with 2023 NA Apprentice Season 1 Group D. We are now halfway through the D. And now, Asher, we have another half to go.
The best half.
Excuse me?
Sharp.
We just had the Patty Mac, and now we're up to the Vindicta, Poppy. The Vindicta. Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah.
We're doing Act 2 of Diablo all over again.
Ay, ay, ay. But yes, you can all see here on the screen what we have already been through. 3 best of 3s have already come and gone. And after those best of 3s, we do have Future currently at the top of the group, followed by Vindicta, followed by Eon, followed by Creature. But again, Creature and Eon haven't been able to play too much, and they're going to be the main features of this second half.
Yeah, I mean, Future and Vindicta definitely the favorites to come out of this group, but as we saw in that last group, it doesn't always go the way that you expect, and yeah, whoever wins this one could maybe look to cause a bit of an upset in the later rounds.
100%, mate, 100%, and even during our cast of Vindicta versus Eon, we were kind of talking about it, theorizing about how Eon, with his more peculiar style, with his all-ins, with his cheeses, he will have a little bit more success against Protoss. So Creature, despite maybe having a long history in the game and a legacy behind him and being around for a long time, he's gotta respect Eon quite a bit here.
Yeah, I certainly think this is going to be a bit trickier for the Protoss to hold, but I mean, we don't really know how Creature plays in PvZ either. It might be him that's looking to be the aggressive one.
You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. Well, we're about to find out. You can hear the beeps. We are going to be loading straight into game number 1 between Creature and Eon.
Alrighty.
Oh, it's inside and out.
Yeah, it is kind of. I don't know. The third plays a bit like.
Yeah, I can definitely.
The
see
scenario felt right. It felt familiar, like the warm arms of the. Anyway, here in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing for Root, it is the Protoss. In the red, this is Creature.
Keep going, Poppy. As sporting in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood LE, we have his opponent, the Costa Rican Zerg player representing Team License to Kill, going for a 12 pool. It is Eon.
It's Costa, your next door neighbor.
Oh, Costa, Poppy. I'll be honest, I've never had the gyro? The gyro? The Greek kebab. I've never had one.
It's like a kebab with lamb and mint sauce, right?
Oh.
I think they put chips in it too. I don't know. They're really good.
Okay. do they have hummus though?
Yeah, you could probably put hummus in it. I don't see why not. Hummus goes pretty well with lamb.
Okay. Fair enough. As we're getting into this game, and already, I mean, again, we were talking. Oh, he's going for the 12 pool drone pool. Let's go!
Oh my god! And does the probe see it? I think did the probe see drones?
The probe does.
It sees them now.
Yeah, it does confirm the drones here, and this is disastrous for Eon because Creature just has the full wall.
Yeah. Wait. What? Why does this not normally happen? How does this ever work?
I mean, there's a reason why we don't see this too often, Poppy. We don't. Usually this sits a little bit later with like speed and like, yeah, a bit of a later time. But regardless, we do have the drones trying to drill here on the cybercore. Lings are on the gateway as well. First Zealot is already out. We're soon to have a second. Oh, actually, the gateway is going to fall before that happens. Up.
Yeah, the core mod as well. That's some pretty cute stacking there, getting all of those drones to hit at the same time.
There we go, the gateway.
Does this work anywhere?
I mean, the forge is late. This forge needs to be thrown down a little bit earlier. It's still only halfway done here. Creature not respecting this, not taking this as seriously as he should have, and now the drones are coming in.
Yeah, he will be charging straight on here. The drone's going to be drilling again, trying to get that surface area, trying to make this fight all go down before that shield battery can finish up. But here we go. The shield battery is going to finish up.
Wow, with the completion of the shield battery, nothing else here from the Protoss will die. GG gets called, and Creature takes the first game.
Okay.
Oh my god. I liked how that was the second shield battery as well, and the first one wasn't actually in range. It was just kind of chilling there. But regardless, GG, well played. Yeah, mate, it's going to be a quick one. Oh.
Why does no one respect NA StarCraft yet? I don't get it.
You don't understand, Poppy. You don't understand. With games like this, why don't they?
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, here we go. We're gonna have altitude second game. So,
Again?
hopefully we don't see it again. No, I really hope we don't see it again.
But it's altitude, Bob. He would never expect it. He's not gonna probe scout on altitude, right?
Nah, make the muta. The muta.
Oh god, here we go. We're getting into game number 2 already in this series, mate.
I'm shocked how well that worked out, but
Yeah.
either way, spawning here in the top right-hand corner of the map, it is the red Protoss. It is creature, which is of course another word for animal.
Oh, you know it, buddy. You know it. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of altitude, we have his opponent. We have the Costa Rican Zerg player representing Team LTK. It is Eon. And it was really heartbreaking to see that all creature really needed in that game was that shield battery finish, and he was fine. Like it was just hard shut down, Poppy. Oh my god.
He did buy himself a lot of time with the pylon, to be fair.
Yeah.
As yeah, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a later scout, not going to be blocking or anything like that, but we'll in fact go for that scout, and Eon going to be going for a hatch first.
This is the first time this entire day of StarCraft that Eon has gone for a hatch first, by the way.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, this map is bigger than some cities. Oh no, the pool.
That's so smooch. Oh my god. This happened to me today on the ladder.
It's okay if it happens to you.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I'm already smudging, Poppy. So yeah, pretty standard opener already here from Eon. As you were saying, altitude is the largest map on the map pool. It would be crazy to have some giga early game aggression on this map. Not saying that Eon is going to play out a standard game by any means, but I'm sure he's going to be looking for a bit of a later timing, if any.
Yeah, so it's going to be at least standard for now. I wouldn't mind seeing some muta play maybe.
You really want the mutas, Poppy. You really want.
Yeah. It's a good map for it.
It is. It
is against Protoss.
It is a good map for mutas, but we'll see what Eon has in store for us for the time being. Again, standard openers. Likewise, we have a gain expand from creature as well, and we have that Stargate, which again makes plenty of sense just because of the map itself, how large it is.
Alright, yeah, so Stargate going to be making that Stalker as well, just to deny the Scout, which I really like this as well with Stargate. I know a lot of people don't do it. It's probably not the most efficient, but it does keep your opponent in the dark as to what you're doing.
Yeah, it's really good, especially in this matchup, just because Protoss have such a wide array of openers, Stargate openers, Twilight Council, Robo as well, and off of each of those, so many different paths as well. So by denying this Overlord, it is a great way to start off this Stargate opener. Meanwhile, we do see a pretty fast mailing nest. I don't think we're going to drain. We're not draining. We're not draining, Poppy. We're not draining.
Yeah, and this Stalker in the wall is looking that much better now.
Oh, it really is. We've seen this before. We do have an Adept coming into the natural base. Going to try and pick up some drones. Nice Spore trick there from Eon. Going to be able to preserve his workers. Meanwhile, we do have a Bane bus coming out here as nothing but links are on the production tab.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, Creature definitely saw that something was a little amiss here. Going to be sending out this Oracle to search around for any links and Banes here, which it'll just miss, but we do have the shield battery coming up. The shield battery should keep this Stalker in that wall, and that pretty much just stops this in its tracks.
Yeah, mate, Stalker's take an insane amount of Banelings to kill. Like, it's actually crazy. God, they are deceptively thick. And here we go, the Banelings are going to be waddling on up this ramp. Finally, for the first time, Eon is going to see what is a part of this wall. He sees a Stalker and he backs the hell off.
Yeah, that's the end of that for now.
Yep. For those wondering, Stalker, oh my god, that's a kill though, not a cancel in the third.
hate that so much.
Talk to me, Asher. Talk to me. What's going on, Papi? What's going on?
It was such a he's not looking move. I feel like using the Banes on that is so bad unless they're not looking.
He wasn't looking, though, Papi. He's not looking. Meanwhile, speaking of, unfortunately, the Spore at the Natural wasn't done in time, so 4 drones are going to go down. Ooh, the Oracle takes a lot of hits.
Yeah, Oracle almost going down there. Nice job by Eon to have those coins in position to shoo that away. And behind that, he's just going to be droning up his 3 bases.
Oh, yeah, he is just going to be chilling, droning, containing his opponents to 2 bases for as long as possible. Obviously, Eon initially intended to go for a Ling Bane bust, but alas, upon recognizing that it would not work, he does back off from that. For those wondering, of course, if you do have a Stalker as a part of the wall, just do what Eon's doing and just don't commit. The bait buzz it's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work.
Or do what Cyril does. Do you see that clip?
Oh.
He's the Overlord to bring the Stalker out of position.
Oh yeah.
It sends the Overlord in, and then it gets replaced by a Adept, and then he's just been past the Adept.
That'll do it. That would do it. Just have some way to get the Stalker out of there, because they are brick walls, steel walls even against Ling Bane. Meanwhile, behind this, Eon is transitioning into a lair. He does have eyes on this third, and he's going to try and get another cancel.
Yeah, looks like he is going to get another cancel too. So a lot of these things are going to be going down as well to these 3 Oracles. Pretty much, it looks like about half of them go down, but I think that's pretty worthwhile to get the delay on the third. Behind this, Creature actually going to be going for a pretty aggressive build himself. He's actually getting Charge. He's getting Void Rays and a Prism and a Templar Archives behind this too. So looking to go for a Charge Pressure, it looks like.
Yeah, meanwhile, Creature, his third was just cancelled once again by these Lings. So such a massive delay on this third. I'm really curious to see how many gateways are thrown down here soon, because Eon may just force an all-in just because of how delayed this is. But I have to second guess myself a little bit, because we do have a Templar Archives as well, so we do have a Charged Archon composition going on. It's going to take a while to really kind of get into that army.
True. I mean, we have 7 gates in total. Charge finishing up around now. No Forge, so not looking to go for a later game. I think it is just going to be, pretty aggressive timing here with Charge and Archons. Okay, there we go to the side. He's going to morph in those first 2 Archons. So this usually starts out like this with a little bit of an Archon drop, and then a warp in of Zealots is going to complete the timing.
Exactly. So a bit of an off timing Archon drop coming out from Creature. We do have a Forge on the way though, so we were kind of getting some tells that this would be very committed, but now that we have a Forge, it looks like he maybe wants to wait for some upgrades and get into a longer game. Before that happens, Eon is coming to him. Amidst all this chaos, a Hydra Den was thrown down, and we have a Ling Bane Hydra timing from Eon.
There we are, getting NA with a no defense, just attack, both players all inning. And we are going to have a big attack from the Protoss hitting the third at the same time that the Zerg is hitting the third of Creature. So it's pretty much just going to be who can deal the most damage, who can survive the longest heroes. Yeah, we do see that first warp into Zealots.
Wow, the Banelings do crash into that mineral line, but there weren't really many probes to kill. Meanwhile, across the map, Eon is going to be losing his third base. The Void Ray showing up as well. We don't have a lot of queens, so this Void Ray is actually a massive deal here for Eon. She's gonna try and desperately make some.
Yes, it's looking a lot better for Creature, but Creature taking the fight with half his units away from each other, so not going to be taking a very efficient trade with those links.
Yeah, not the most efficient trade, but a lot of Hydras actually got caught by these Archons. Speaking of, these 2 remaining Hydras are going to get cleaned up as well as they pop out of their eggs, and Creature is breaking in.
Yeah, the Zerg units are just dribbling on in. Looks like the last few Zealots going to be going down, only 2 remain, but the Archons, they are still going strong, and massive splash going down on those drones for the Protoss player here, and he has done a hell of a lot of damage here. Quite a lot more than Eon was able to do.
Yeah, exactly. Eon, sure, he denied the third. I mean, he's been doing that all game, but Eon's own third was killed. He lost a lot of workers. He lost a lot of Hydras, and now he's up against the wall right now. He doesn't really have too much of an economy to speak of. He can't really afford any more Ling Bane Hydra. It's such a gas-intensive army.
Yeah, that's right. And here comes the Archon Zealot. That's a lot of Archons.
Oh my god. We may not even need the Zealots, to be honest, but it's there anyway, as Creature's going to be forcing himself up this ramp into the Ling Bane Hydra. Banelings against Archons is never something you want to see.
Yeah, not the best. Hydra's versus Archons are really good though. I'm kind of surprised that he made so many Archons. I feel like, well, I was gonna say Zealots might be better, but there's so many Banelings here now.
True, there are a lot of Banelings. Speaking of, the Banelings are waddling on in. They do cancel the warp into the main base, but they create an opening as Creature is busting on into the natural. The Banelings do crash into the Zealots, but now the Archons are pushing in.
Oh, busting into the natural.
Oh. Mate, the Archons are busting, Buffy,
Oh.
as they're finally going to get cleaned up, but they take down a lot of Hydras.
Yeah, I feel like that was a very good trade for the Zerg, but he pretty much gets rid of everything that could have dealt with the Zealot. The Zealot warp in comes in, massacres what remains of the Hydras, and there we go. That last warp in might just be the final nail in the coffin. I think Creature has done it here off the back of Eon's failed Baneling bust.
Yeah, GG gets caught. Actually, let's go.
He liked that one.
He liked it, Pup. He liked
Well
it.
played, buddy. I like it.
Creature does take the 2-0 here, and yeah, he's gonna be putting a point on the board.
I want a kebab.
Kebab or a gyro?
Kebab. I don't know if I can get a gyros.
A gyros?
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I've only really read it.
Man, you're Mr.
And
Worldwide.
heard Australians say it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'll refer to you.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go, Poppy. Congratulations to Creature. He does take the 2-0 here over Eon, and that will cement, or that will kind of, push Eon towards the lower end of the bracket of the group. Sorry, he hasn't taken a win yet, and Creature, a nice 2-0. Very solid result here for him.
Yeah, very solid indeed. So, Creature's going to be the one to keep an eye on to maybe upset one of these Terran players here.
Yeah, definitely, as we have 2 series remaining here, and this is going to be pretty important for both Future and Vindicta. We were talking about it before. We saw it with Reaper versus Disc, how upsets can happen, and Vindicta was able to adapt over time mid-series against Eon, because Eon literally did the same opener every game. Different kind of transitions and different variations, but overall the same core opener. Are we going to see that again for Future?
Yeah, it went that different. I feel like like he's definitely going to play it against Future, at least for the first game.
Yeah, I mean, remember game 3 went into Roach Hydra. I think it was game 2 it went into Roach Muta, if you recall. Which the mutas got annihilated. Remember, he made 9 mutas. And game 1 was the one where it actually worked for Eon. So he has different kind of branching paths in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cope a little.
You're like, mate, Light trying to make it sound like Eon has a build. Like,
hey, it is a build.
It is a build, yeah.
It's just one though.
All right, well, we're gonna find out if he has other openers up his sleeve, as we are gonna be diving into Future versus Eon.
All right. Yeah, here we go. Really excited to see how Future handles this. He's a very kind of very prim and proper Terran, but as we saw against Vindicta, does have some creative ways to go about his defenses.
He really does, and that may be his downfall here, as we have him in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon, the American Terran representing Alpha X. It is Future.
And in the top left hand corner of the map representing LTK, this is Eon.
Oh boy, Eon versus Future. I wonder if Vindicta would be the kind of player to slip into some DMs and be like, yo, Terran to Terran. Eon,
No shot.
he's
That's
got
so
this
rude.
build. would he do
Imagine.
it?
No way. The MMR difference is too much. That'd be such a rap move.
Oh my god. It'd be risky as well, because I'm sure Vindicta would want Future to lose as well, right?
Yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah. It's interesting because they're both in the same group, so we'll see as Eon goes to that pool first again.
Yeah, okay, so looking like the same at least so far.
so far. Pool, hatch, soon to be gas opener here from Eon. What is to be expected, and we'll see how Future can respond to this. We'll see if Eon has any kind of other adaptations available to him. As Future, he's actually skipping his Reaper. He's going for a reactor first. He's not SCV scouting.
All right. I'm a big fan of reactor first builds, and he should be absolutely fine here against the pool first, especially if it's only 4 lings. Maybe he knew about this, but actually 6 lings coming out from Eon this time.
This is the first time that Eon has gone for 6 lings. Maybe he is familiar with how Future does open up. He does scout as well, the CC on the low ground. The lings are making their way across the map, and yeah, because we have a bit of a bigger commitment here, maybe Eon can do a little bit more damage.
Making their way downtown.
Walking fast.
Moving fast. Yeah. Okay. All right. So first couple of Marines going to be coming out. We see a factory as well. So a few different things that this could be. Could be a Hellbat push. There is a very fast no-stim Hellbat push that comes out of this. It's not very popular anymore, but Future does like to bring back some old builds every now and then.
It really does. Meanwhile, the SCV does go down. Second SCV does come down to the natural as well to try and finish it off, but the Lings are forcing all of this back. So a nice little delay. We'll see if he can get a second SCV. Unlikely. He will get a Marine.
Yeah, good delay there. So a little bit awkward to deal with for Future, but he does clean it up eventually. And I mean, the good thing about the reactor first is you do have a lot of Marine production. So whatever comes next, he should have a very healthy amount of bio for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do have a Marine after Marine being pumped out by the reactor Drax. Meanwhile, we do have a straight up 1-1-1 opening. Tech Lab on that factory. Interesting. And we'll see if he does end up researching something there, because this isn't lined up for an add-on swap. What are we going to get?
I think he's just blind countering the build that Aeon does. He actually is.
He's going tank first. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I mean the reactor Marines as well. He's 100% just blind countering what Aeon did against Vindicta. But that isn't what it's going to be. So yeah. This is a bit weird, because this isn't really an opening per se. This is more of a defensive response, and there's no roaches coming.
That's what I'm saying, but no, there will be roaches, because there we go. 2 gases are being taken. There's the roach one as if on cue. Again, when it comes to Eon's build here, it isn't like a direct follow-up of roaches. No, it takes a little bit of time to really get into things here. It takes a little bit to actually saturate our gases. So, yeah, Eon is still overall going for the same build.
This is pretty much what you would do if you sat down and tried to come up with just the most blind hard counter to what Eon does. Which I think is what he's doing.
Yeah, we're delaying our 3rd CC. We're throwing down 3 more Araxes. We've got double NG behind this as well. So we're not really too concerned with our economy. We're more concerned with our army here. And Eon has to be very careful not to overcommit to actually trying to break this contain, as we do have roaches on the way.
Yeah, I mean, this should get absolutely dunked on, really.
Yeah. Oh boy, well before that happens, Eon is getting a little bit supply blocked by this Viking, so Future already getting a lot of value here. He is poised to find another Overlord towards the northern portion of the map. Eon is in the midst of moving out though.
Okay, and Future just cancelled his bunker. Oh, he could be in a lot of trouble here.
Oh, mate, the wall is not a wall. There's only 1 tank on the low ground. There's no tank right now. We have a 2nd tank on the way. It only just now started. If that first tank goes down, then yeah, Eon, Future, the natural, could be compromised.
Yeah, the wall is finished here, but got a lot of Ravagers. That is 8 Ravagers running straight down mid here.
Yeah. Here we go. Show us those Biles. We have Lings flooding in behind this as well. The Biles are going to be connecting with that tank, and it does go down immediately.
Yeah, tank going to be going down. This Dipper's in a little bit of trouble though, but not the most synced with these Biles here. Finally, the Dipper does go down, but that does give enough time for this tank to get into position. So looks like Future's going to be just fine here.
Yeah, exactly. He does get the 2nd tank, but these Marines are doing more work than the tanks ever did as he sims on forward, and he's going to be looking to chase down every single one of these Ravagers.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a Marine follow-up here. Sorry. bit of a Ling reinforcement here coming out from Aeon, and that's going to help save his Ravages, but in the end, the Ravages still go down, so he's just losing even more. And these Marines, they are battered and wounded, but the first 2 medevacs are about to come out, and now Future's just kind of smacked this down.
Mate, the boys are pulled. Every single worker that was at the natural base
Yeah,
is
I'm into
getting
this.
sent across the map, as well as the tank. Future is looking to end this game.
This is a pretty wild response, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's not going to be any Banelings. All that's here to defend is Roaches. SEV pools are actually surprisingly strong against Roaches. Just because they will tank all the damage and the Marines just eventually shred through them. And I mean, you're not really going to be able to focus fire Marines or anything. So yeah, really good choice by Future here.
Oh, but here we go. The boys are being pulled. The tank is left exposed, so it's going to be going down immediately. The SCVs as well are fighting without too much support of those Marines. They're coming finally down now from that natural base, but oh my god. They do pick up quite a lot of those Roaches. Oh.
Yeah, maybe there just weren't enough Marines here for Future to pull this move off. I think he might have just thrown this game.
I mean, 20 SCVs have gone down even more here. Finally, another tank shows up, but as you were saying, there just aren't a lot of Marines left.
Yeah, but the tank that is getting some serious work done. The tank takes out almost all of the Roaches, and it does keep these Marines alive. And oh, Eon was making a few drones behind this disaster.
Oh my god, but you know, we have more Roaches on the way, and with only a single tank to back this up, and with the medevacs running out of energy, Eon, he can clean this up.
Yeah, Future gonna pick up and get out of there.
Now, Eon, he's ahead in workers.
Yeah, Eon is very far ahead after that.
Oh my god, but we do have a couple of reinforcements coming in here. The rally from Future is not stopping. He is making workers behind this. He's making SCVs. Okay, there we go. Eon is going to back up for a moment, and he is going to give Eon some time to breathe.
Yeah, a few more workers coming out. No third base on the way either, so he is still very far behind. But Lizard, of course, not in the healthiest position either.
Yeah, exactly. Like right now, Eon is desperately trying to get into his upgrades and solidify his 3 bases. We have a spine on the way towards the south. But earlier, if you remember, that Viking was cleaning out overlords, and we have a doom drop going straight for the main base of Eon, and he has no idea.
Yeah, no idea at all. Here we go. Massive doom drop headed into the main. All of the Marines here, and if they can cut off this ramp here, it's going to be pretty much impossible for Eon to come back into this.
He's going to try. We do have a couple of Ravagers, Roaches coming in as well. Can they push themselves up this ramp?
Oh,
it looks
the
like,
funnel.
Oh, no, they cannot.
Oh. Yeah, the tank splash absolutely brutal as those Marines just cup those Roaches into a massive bunch there, and Eon just a little bit too over eager. Not enough support here, and that one tank doing an insane amount of work.
Yeah, exactly, and it looks like this may just be it. Future has taken control of the main base. We do have a wave of Roaches that are about to pop. With that, I just don't think he can deal with all these Marines. The last Ravager goes down.
Yeah, last Ravager goes down. The resupply is here. 4 tanks coming straight down the middle, and there is absolutely not enough to deal with this for Aeon.
Yeah, the natural has been broken for Eon. The tank siege up in between the bases. GG gets called, and Future will take game number 1.
Not expecting a GG, but there we go.
Yeah, you liked it. Mate, you gotta respect the SCV pool. Come on. Oh my god, GG. That was almost a hold there from Eon though, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
He was holding quite well towards the end. It is very apparent though. We can see quite a stark difference what a lack of banelings really does do for a Zerg army, and how difficult it can be to break through these, especially these choke points with some tanks and Marines behind it.
Man, Future, this is my kind of StarCraft. I mean, like, the way the mix plays, it's very nice. It's very, correct. He is, aiming to be a top player, and he is showing that in his games. But I do kind of like all-inning into all-ins. That's more my kind of speed.
Actually, you like the apes, Papi. You like them.
I like the apes, yeah. It's good.
They're
it's
endearing.
Good for you.
They're endearing, Papi, Like, you can't...
Makes them exciting games.
Yeah, for sure.
Although, I mean, the mix games are pretty exciting too, but you know what I mean.
I understand. It also makes for games that you can almost throw, though. That's
Yeah, That's why they're exciting.
True. And speaking of things that are exciting, massive shout out to Ordy in the chat. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 3 months. Gracias, papi. Letting us know to keep up the good work. Thank you, Ordy.
Oh, all right. Just because you asked nicely. As spawning here in the top left-hand corner of the map, in the yellow for Alpha X, it is Future, the future of Terra.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have as opponent, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player representing Team LTK. It is Eon. Asher.
Hello.
Yesterday. Did you get an Oreo McFlurry?
No, I didn't.
Hey.
I did not. I did not.
I did not. Why not? Why not? What happened?
I don't know. I realized I had. I don't know if this was yesterday, but
Yeah.
at some stage in the last week, I realized I had some ice cream in the freezer still.
Yeah.
It's all like melted in the.
It melted in the freezer?
Yeah, maybe my freezer's not cold enough.
I think there's something wrong with the freezer if it melted.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was gonna say that mate, you don't need to order Oreo McFlurries because you're gonna get the real thing this weekend.
Oh, true.
You're gonna
Get a McFlurry.
You're gonna put him in your McFlurry, Poppy. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh,
it's gonna
beautiful.
Bring the ice cream. As we're getting into game number 2 so far, and once
It's a hatch first.
hatch gas pool standard opener from Eon in a ZVT.
Crazy. What's he thinking?
He's not.
Oh, just feeling.
He's playing.
Vibing.
Yeah, he's vibing. He is feeling. He is busting, Poppy. As we haven't seen this yet. We've seen him go for a standard opener against Protoss, but not against Terran. So I wonder what a standard game from Eon looks like.
Do you reckon he gets the same feeling as when people are doing CC first? Like when he does hatch first, it's just like, oh my god, don't be cheesing, please don't be cheesing. I'm being so greedy, I'm being naughty.
Oh my god, it's possible he may believe that. Meanwhile, this Reaper is getting insane amount of damage. There were no lings? Oh, hyper greedy here from Eon. He really did go CC first. Oh my god. This is crazy.
This is kind of game over.
This is too much. 3 drones go down. I mean, at least the Reaper does full.
I guess he didn't make the lings anyway. Oh, but now he makes the lings. Okay, yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, and the third is delayed as well. This is disastrous. For those wondering, usually you make a handful of lings with your queens when you open up here to defend against the Reaper, but maybe, I mean, last game, if you remember, Future went reactor first, so maybe Eon was banking on that.
Yeah, I think so. And he skipped them as well to get a very, very fast speed. This is very unusual how fast his speed is for a hatch gas pool. And he hasn't put out a gas at all, so maybe he's got like a Bane Bust or something like that. Well,
yeah, it could be a Bane Bust, could be a Roach follow-up as well. The drone count is very low as we're flooding lings across the map here. Eon looking to find some damage. The bunker is still not done. We only have 3 Marines here on the low ground.
Oh. Yeah, Marine's going to be running back to safety. Not enough SCVs to buffer for them, so a little bit of trouble here for Future, but he should be able to just trade out with these lings, and that just adds insult to injury here for Eon, who not only did he lose a bunch of drones, but he also made a bunch of lings that didn't get too much done now.
Yeah, these lings could have all been drones. We do see him dive on top of the tank here. If he can get the tank, then maybe it's worth it, but he's not really going to get much at all. Oh.
Yeah, really clean positioning from Future, using the tank and the depot to protect the Marines there.
Yeah, the Marines stand strong behind this. Eon making another wave of lings, droning up a little bit in the interim. We still have quite a lot of gas banked up as well.
What is this build?
Oh my god.
I've never seen this before. I know Future does have some very strange builds of his own creation. I watched his stream when he streamed, I think it was at the start of the year or maybe late last year. And he just does some really wacky things, especially in TVZ. But yeah, I have never seen this before. Very, very fast +1, and it's going to be a delayed double medevac with the 2-on-1.
Yeah, the 2-on-1 tank first, I guess, because he's playing against Eon, so he's trying to be safe against him, I guess, by prioritizing that tank. But the +1 timing is wild, actually.
Yeah, this is very strange.
Oh my, he's not add-on switching. Oh my god.
Yeah, okay. This makes sense.
Okay.
Oh, this is sick. I really like this, actually.
It's a Hellbat push. The armory is
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the way. The armory is a part of the wall.
Okay. Yeah,
Right
I have seen
here.
some things like this. I remember there was a Maru CC first 2-on-1 where he did this as well with the Hellbats first.
Uh-huh.
And you move across the map as soon as you get these first 4 Hellions, which looks like that's what he's probably going to be doing. And yeah, and then the second medevac comes to meet up with the rest of the army afterwards. And you get this weird, like, Hellbat all in with a 2-on-1.
He's add-on swapping.
Oh, this is such a cool build. Holy crap.
All right, here we go. We are picking up the Hellions and zooming across the map at the same time. The ones on the wall, the Lings, they do bust into the natural.
Yeah, great timing there from Aeon, and Future, he's not turning back. It's going to be a base trade.
He's not turning around. He's meeting the Lings in the middle of the map. The Lings are getting annihilated. Oh, a bit of an overextension by Eon. He loses every single Ling, and now he only has Roaches.
Yeah, the Marines going to be stimming down the Roaches. Only 7 of those left, and we're pretty scarce on Queens as well, as Future looks to set himself up in between these bases here.
Yeah, exactly. Eon was going for his own all-in with Roaches and Lings, but the Lings are now gone. The Hellbats are being annihilated by the Roaches, but these Marines are just going to town.
Yeah, the Marines pretty heavily stimmed though, so they are getting cleaned up, even if it is a little bit slowly.
Yeah, slowly but surely they're getting picked up one after the other again. There's only one medevac and it's already out of energy. The boys are being pulled, but they're being pulled into a Hellbat. No!
Oh, the Hellbats are doing work here, and Future's going to be able to save his important units too.
Oh my god, he saves the tank, he saves the Marines, he is rushing back home, but the damage has been done. He cleaned up the Roach army, and he also got 11 drone kills.
The damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving. Oh.
I don't know what comes next.
It's the same thing again.
Okay.
Justin Timberlake up there.
Oh, true! Oh
Timberland.
my god! Yeah.
Yeah, Crimea River.
Crimea
this is old
River.
enough that you know it.
Yeah. Look,
And they had the little Timberland interlude where it's like, oh, the damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving.
look, you didn't sing the Justin Timberlake part, so I didn't understand, but now I get it. It's all coming
No,
together.
that's your part, Papa.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, from here, Future, he's just chilling. He can slowly expand, take a third base. We have a lair on the way apparently for Rio. Do you think he's gonna go into a Spire?
Maybe. We have turrets for Future, so maybe he's expecting burrowed roaches or mutas? I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, it's Eon. You got to be careful for anything, right? So I mean, the turrets are thrown down. Yeah, this is set up for burrowed roaches, so he wants to make sure he doesn't get caught out like that. Meanwhile, we do have a Baneling nest on the way here for Eon.
Yeah, okay. There's 4 tanks here, so I can't see it doing too much. But he might just be looking to play into more of a Lingbane Ravager macro game.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the drone count. You know, for the time being, he's working up to 45 drones. That's a lot of drones, Papi.
It's more drones than you've made in ZVZ in your lifetime.
I like how you had to specify ZVZ. Not wrong. As here we go, Future's pushing out across map. Eon is in the midst of taking a 4th base. He does have Banelings being morphed in, but he doesn't have Baneling speed. He doesn't have Roach speed either. He doesn't have much of anything. He has Link speed at least. But Future, he's coming, Bobby.
Yeah, Eon's got a pretty huge army here. Future's gonna have to be careful not to overcommit right now.
He really does. Here we go. Eon is coming in from behind, but the tank line, oh my god, it's terrifying.
Ooh, yeah, the focus fire on the Banes is good. The starter is good as well, and these Ravagers, they do not hold up well against Marines. They will be getting absolutely shredded. We don't even need the tanks.
We don't. We really don't. Get him out of here. As the Lings get cleaned up, the Ravagers will be able to survive, but the third base has been cut off from the army of Eon as Future just pushes on forward and starts to resituate his tanks here in between the bases.
Yeah, it's really awkward positioning here for Eon to deal with. As we do have roach reinforcements coming in.
Yeah, and with the help of these Marauders, again, the Roaches don't really stand or can't really hold a candle to the army of the Terror. They stim on forward even further. The last of the Ravagers goes down, and that is the last of Eon's army.
That is the last we heard from Eon. He's gone, Puppy. Oh, he really is gone. Come on.
GG gets called. Future will take the 2-0. 2-0.
Fala galera.
Fala galera. That's the wrong language, Papi. That's the wrong language.
Okay. We tried.
GG. Look, Future, he didn't pull the boys in game 2. Otherwise, we would have seen a GG. Would have seen him.
True. In the respect for that. Mate, he would love Hon Mono.
He'd be all over Hon Mono, mate. Let's go.
It's like, I want to do customs with Hon Mono and Percival.
I don't blame him. If that's what he wants. But regardless, GG, well played by Future. And with that, Future does solidify himself as the #1 seed in the group. He will be coming out on top. But now it's about second place. Because if we look at the current scores right now, if we have a look at the bracket and change our scenes. Creature's got a 2-0. Vindicta's got a 2-1. If Creature wins this series, Creature comes out on top, right?
Yeah. For sure.
So this last series here is a battle for second place. Will Creature or Vindicta make it out of Group D?
Oh. They're distracted. Rufus is on my desk and he's looking at me like he's gonna attack me.
What did you do? What happened?
Yeah, he just gets a bit weird when he's on the desk.
Yeah.
Cats have this thing with height where if they're at the same height as your head, they kind of decide that they can take you on.
Do you have to be careful and make sure that he doesn't have too much elevation? Like, if at any moment he's suddenly taller than you, then, like...
Yeah, you can tell. They kind of have this look at you. They just kind of stare at you. They like size you up, and you're like, oh, okay. We doing this? Doing this, buddy?
Are we doing this right now, buddy? I may be casting, but I'm willing to stop the cast to take you on, buddy. Let's go.
Man, I can... In between sentences, I'm gonna yeet you across the room, my friend.
You see what I do to my phones, mate? That's you.
Oh no. Oh. He's gonna be cracked, puppy.
Not like this. As you know, Rufus, he's just getting hyped up here for the last and final best of 3 of the night. A PvT between Vindicta and Creature.
Creature, he likes it.
Oh yeah, the Creature.
Yeah. The thing. The Yeti.
Oh my god. Mate, the Yetis in Diablo 2 are like so luscious. Have you noticed?
I don't know if I'll come up to the really furry ones. I am impressed with how much better the remastered graphics are.
Yeah,
it's actually more noticeable than I thought.
Like the Schween between them. The Schween on the Yetis.
Beg your pardon? I hope you can't see that. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map for Platinum Heroes, this is Vindicta.
I said the sheen, Buffy, the sheen. You
know? Oh, yeah. You got your graphics settings turned up a bit more than I have.
As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent, the American Protoss player representing Root Gaming. It is Creature. I just want to pet.
Did you play Red Dead Redemption 2?
I did not. Why?
You'd have liked
Oh my
it.
god, why? What's in Red Dead Redemption 2, Papi? What's...
The horses, they have
Oh.
balls, puppy.
Oh, okay.
You'd have been like, oh.
Unfortunately,
Animal.
that was a console exclusive, wasn't it? It was like only the Xbox.
I don't think so. I think the first one was, and it just took a really long time to come to PC.
Okay.
Maybe the second one was as well.
Oh, true. Number 2, I think that was on PC. Maybe.
Mm.
We can play it together. So we can look
Yeah,
at
I
the
think
horses
so.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compare horses.
I'll stream it with
Rufus, get down, buddy. As yeah, it looks like we're going to be having double gas opener coming out from Vindicta. Definitely makes sense on the slightly smaller map.
Yeah. Double gas opener. We're not being anywhere near as greedy as we otherwise would be with a single gas opener. Likewise, Creature is going for a gate expand and bringing it back here to the start of the evening. If you remember, Creature has shown us a little bit of variety. He showed us a DT opener as well as a very kind of Stargate opener trying to get into Phoenix Colossus, if you're recalling Game 1 against Future.
Yeah, a pretty greedy opening with that Stargate play. Once again, we're going to be seeing Stargate. Definitely don't mind it on this map. It can make it a lot easier to secure all the bases. It is a very defensible map, so...
Yeah, definitely. You can get away with some greed. You can defend with minimal amounts of units here as the Protoss. We'll see if that's the route he takes, as we're going to be waiting a little bit longer here to see if it's going to be an Oracle or Phoenix coming out first. Meanwhile, the Adept is rushing across the map, trying to deny some scouting here, and Vindicta is going to do his best to try and save his SCV.
Yeah, he should actually be able to kill this Adept, just because he's gone 2 Reaper, 1 Hellion, so unless we see this recall, it will be going down.
There is no recall. The Hellion is saved, and the Adept does go down without any delay on the CC.
Okay, behind this, looks like Vindicta was in a bit of a mood today. Going 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion, very aggressive. But, oh, it's an Oracle opener. That's very rough for this opener.
Yeah, the Oracle is coming out first. We have a shield battery on the way as well. It's still only halfway done, but by the time the Oracle comes out, it will be able to clean up what little is left of this army, as Vindicta is going to force his way through. He will take out the Adept. Oh.
Yeah, Adept goes down. This mineral line is going to be open and a little bit slow to retreat the probes, but yeah, the Oracle has arrived. The Oracle will be taking down quite a lot of these units here. Should be able to get that last shot on the Hellion and cleans it up very effectively. You can see why the Oracle's so good against this.
Yeah, exactly. It came out just in time. We did lose a couple of Adepts, and looking at the units tab here, it looks like we lost 2 probes, or 3 probes in total, so minimal losses, I guess. Oh my god, Vindicta. Let's go.
Yeah, okay. This is something that I've seen Hero Marine playing around with this a lot. Maru as well. So it's a backfield push. It's designed to be good, I believe, against more robo-based Phoenix openers. But this is actually going to be a Twilight follow-up from Creature. So if he is going into fast charge, this could get pretty dicey here for Vindicta.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. So we'll see what Creature prioritizes, if he does go towards charge or blink instead, as the Twilight Council is done. We're just waiting for that upgrade to commence. Meanwhile, across the map, the Adept is going to try and get a scout. It does confirm at least a Cyclone, but I mean, a Cyclone at this stage is not a weird thing to see.
Yeah, definitely not. It's not going to be until we see that continued production of Cyclones that it starts to get a bit suspicious. I mean, already we got 2 and 2. He's going to be heading across the map, and it's a very technical push here. If it can catch out these Phoenix across the map, if it's not paying close enough attention, can definitely get some pickoffs here. But yeah, it looks like Creature a bit too sharp for that.
Yeah, he does pull back in the end. Isn't going to lose any of his units, just a couple of shields here and there. Meanwhile, it is going to be charged as the follow-up for Creature, but for the time being, he's only working with 2 gateways, and Vindicta's already being quite aggressive here in his face at the natural.
Yeah, Scan goes down. He's trying to judge whether he can take that fight. Oh, yeah, bit of a pause. But yeah, we're going to see if he can take this fight at the natural here. There is a shield battery in position. If the overcharge does go through, it's going to be difficult to make this work, but he could potentially manually lock onto the same unit and get kills that way.
Yeah, he could, as we do get a couple of lock-ons here. The shield battery is going to be keeping everything alive for the time being. We have some focus firing on some of ththese buildings, though. There's the overcharge.
Yeah, overcharge is forced. Phoenix going to be going down despite that. Pylon going down as well. The batteries are depowered, and Vindicta might just run straight on in now.
Mate, there's no other gateways, by the way. There's one more gateway. Other than this, we can only warp in one unit at a time, despite the fact that Charge is going to finish up soon. There are barely any zealots, no zealots at all, actually.
Yeah, Vindicta just really using his advantage in the micro here to make the best of this situation. GG is called, and really nice stuff from Vindicta. Very technical push there.
GG, well played. Vindicta will take that first game. Very crisp timing with that Macville accelerator as well. And yeah, maybe something that Creature really hasn't experienced too often, to be honest, just because it isn't kind of rampant on the ladder. Only a couple of key players are whipping that out.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty new build and pretty situational as well. I feel like it's a good one to go for if you feel like you have much better micro than your opponent.
Yeah, solid game number 1 there from Vindicta, but now we're getting ready for game numero dos, and it's going to be taking place on Ancient Cistern. Boy, so a much larger map instead. And has Mix been playing around? I know the answer isn't what I want it to be. Like, Battle Mech and PvT.
No.
Okay. It's very
Not a thing. Spawning here in the top right hand corner of the map for Platinum Heroes. This is Vindicta.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have as opponent, we have the American Protoss representing Root Gaming. It is Creature.
Yeah, I feel like I think just Gate Ape just crushes Battle Mech.
Mm-hmm.
So you can I mean the Protoss army is just a bit too mobile to make it work.
We need TY to come back. Okay, we
don't need that.
We know
you don't want that, trust me.
I want that.
It's gonna ruin your ladder experience, but
it'll be where it's okay. I'm switching to Diablo anyway. It's fine. I'm I'm abandoning the ladder. Oh god. But yeah, we'll see how this goes as Vindicta does sneak out his SCV across the map, and he will be getting an eBay block.
Yeah, I really like this for this map as well, just because I don't know what it is about this map. Just something about how far away the bases are from each other that makes it very awkward to defend when your third is forced in a different location.
Feel Zerg, man. As we are forced to take the unnatural natural here for the Protoss player, feeling like a Zerg in ZVP, and yeah, this can be abused by the Terran, definitely. Yeah,
for sure. We'll have to see the follow-up. I know Vindicta likes to play 3 racks off this. That is a common follow-up here. So I'm... okay, yeah, it's pulled off gas. So yeah, it's going to be a 3 racks follow-up.
Yeah, gases have been pulled off. Raxes, or more Raxes, should be on the horizon here for Vindicta. And we'll see if Creature, how often he's kind of been in this situation, if he can deal with this. Again, he's already kind of in an awkward place just because of the placement of his of his natural at that third base location. Yeah, we'll see if he can kind of prepare for what's coming and even scout what's going to be coming.
Oh, the SCV's still in the main. That's cute. It looks like Creature knows about it, but he's not sure where it is.
The SCV, it looks like it is going to be able to get away from the Adept, since the Adept is going to be zooming across the map, so it's survived, puppy. It's in the house.
Yeah. Should, what should he build? I don't know. Build a factory, why not?
Factory and just woodlands and mines.
Yeah.
Just go for a wide intro. Let's go.
Didn't Special do that?
Something about these.
Did you see my screenshot? I played against White Hydra today.
I didn't see the screenshot. Oh my! What happened? What happened?
He said, "My goodness, 2,500 MS ping."
Smurge. Why doesn't he leave me when he gets on AU? God damn it.
Probably because he doesn't actually get 2,500.
Smurge. Here we go. As it's actually going to be a concussive shell first here from Vindicta. So it's actually going to be prioritizing more order production.
Yeah, and he might just move out as soon as that concussive finishes. This is something that I saw Kieran Marine doing a long time ago, but he kind of abandoned it.
Yeah, so it's interesting for Migs to kind of whip it out here mid-series. We have Stim soon after coming up behind that. Marauders are coming out as well. Unfortunately, a decent amount of Marines did just get shaved off, and we do see Creature is going for a Blink Opener instead of Charge.
Yeah, not the worst, and really good job by Creature to back off now. If he had stayed out there, this concussive would have 100% confirmed at least one kill on that Stalker.
Exactly, so it's respecting that quite a bit. Also saw the Marine count. I don't believe he saw any Marauders. I'm not too certain if he was able to kind of piece that together. As Vindicta is moving out, there is one shield battery here at the natural.
Yeah, so pretty crisp timing here coming out from Vindicta. Going to be heading out across the map here as Stim starts to finish up. Still a little ways off as his combat shields, but he might just go with concussive.
Yeah, we'll see if that's going to be enough here because we have a scan. He tries to get the Observer, but it does get saved by the shield battery.
That's cute, but yeah, the shield battery going to be saving that one. And yeah, maybe not the greatest timing just because Stim is so far away. This is a little bit wasteful.
Yeah, Marauder goes down. And without Stim, you just can't really dive. You can't really take advantage of that shield battery. And these Marines are going to get picked off the Blink Micro here from Creature.
Can't really leave either as Vindicta going to try to take out that extra Stalker, so yeah, a little bit careless, and takes out the Observer as well, but definitely not a good trade by any means.
Yeah, it did cost him 2 scans for that. It cost him a lot of armor. Looking at the units lost type here, 4 Marauders and 11 Marines for only 2 Stalkers. Not ideal whatsoever as Creature is continuing to push out across the map. This is off of only 3 gates. He's expanding behind us, even throwing down some forges.
Yeah, he is, and there we go. Charge going to be on the way here for Creature.
It is on the way. Meanwhile, because of the 3 axes, no tanks, no Widowmines either. The Stalkers are going to be pushing on forward. You have Stim though, finally, for Migs. Oh.
Yeah, good little skirmish there. Has to be careful though. And he doesn't really know how committed Creature is with the Blink Stalkers here, but behind this it's going to be Immortals, it's going to be Charge Lots as well, so looks like Creature looking to play a relatively low gas style here.
Yeah, only working off of those 4 gases. He's going to be relying a lot more on those Zealots moving on forward, and yeah, behind this, Vindicta does end up throwing down that 3rd CC, so he isn't looking to go all in off of 2 bases here. Isn't looking to necessarily pull the boys. We'll see if he can kind of recover as a Prism is looking to slip into his main.
Yeah, so we do have the opportunity for a bit of a Zealot warp in here. Looks like there's not much at home for Migs to deal with this. They should be able to just drop back in time, but yeah, this is a little bit awkward. Charge is about to kick in now.
Yeah, Charge finally does finish up. It looks like a couple of these building SCVs are going to be focused down, but Vindicta should be able to come back into the main and clean this up before too much damage gets dealt.
Yeah, a little bit of an annoyance, but that's about it.
Oh, the intercept. Oh, Vindicta, he's looking for that prism, but it's still here in the dead zone. It is still safe.
Yeah, it is. He is making a Viking, though, to help deal with that, and that will just make this prism less annoying for the rest of the game.
Yeah, there we go. Viking is on the way. Meanwhile, as this is happening, Creature's going to be going for his own scout. Hallucination is headed towards the natural, in towards the main as well. Isn't going to be able to see... Oh, no, it's actually going to be able to get into the main and see the timing of the third CC.
Yeah, and there we go. It looks like this prism is going to get shoot away at least.
Yeah, if you have a recall in time, Creature will keep it safe and sound, so he's going to be able to, you know, again, not have to rely on rebuilding that or anything like that. Storm is on the way as well. That's going to be the splash damage of choice. So Charge Lot, Archon, Storm Immortal. Oh boy. Yeah, Creature, his army's getting quite solid here. Quite terrifying.
Yeah, certainly. And Vindicta happy to sit back for now. He's going to send out these Marine Scouts, and upon seeing that there's no 4th, probably going to be pretty comfortable to just continue to sit back now.
Yeah, there's going to be no pressure on him to try and deny a faster 4th base or anything like that. He's going to still skirmish around the map and going to clean up some of these spotter zealots, at least as we say that Creature is going for that 4th.
Yeah, that he is. Just going to be clearing out those little spotters there. And yeah, going to get into a bit more of a macro game. So be interesting to see these players duke it out in something, something a bit more drawn out. We haven't seen many drawn out games tonight.
We haven't really seen even the TVT, which were longer games, like were over relatively quickly. Like, there was a lot of action, there was a lot of chaos ensuing. We never really saw like proper 3 or 4 base saturation. We could get a macro game in an NA tournament.
Gonna get some StarCraft.
Did they forget to like put on their clown noses? What's going on?
Errol was saying that in his stream yesterday as well. Really? He was like, "Oh, we get to play some StarCraft."
He knows, but
he knows. He just wants to play it. He didn't get to. No one plays with him, but that's because he's too good. They're just like, we don't want to play this normal game with him.
Let's here we go. We do have a storm drop being set up as well. The High Templar are in that prism.
Oh. Yeah, huge timing. Storm drop going to be coming down. Looks like Vindicta running out of EMPs, but good EMPs on the Archons here. And massive EMP there goes down on all of the High Templar, so he's going to be forced to make Archons, but this is a very awkward situation. Nice Sim City from Vindicta, saving most of his SEVs by locking them in behind that bunker.
Yeah, exactly. The majority of SCVs are saved, but for how much longer? Because the Protoss army has arrived. Migs is going to try and slip in behind this army, but there are just so many charge lots.
Yeah, and the third goes down, and that pretty much cements the result here. But Vindicta going to trade as best that he can with this army. Snipes down a couple of those Archons here.
Yeah, a couple of Archons are going to be focused down, but now the Zealots are going to get on top of the rest of the army. We don't really have too much else. Widowmine shots are going to be going off here on those Zealots.
Yeah, the Zealots being dragged back here over the mines, but there just isn't really enough here for the Terran. Even if he does clean this up, he's probably going to be losing a lot of SEVs, and he is just in a very rough spot overall, having lost that third.
Yeah, exactly. We have the 2 bases of Vindicta up against the 4 bases of Creature. And oh my god, Disruptors are coming out. No, is he watching? Oh no!
Oh, that's disgusting.
The Nova does connect with some Widowmines, with some Marauders. Nice EMPs overall on at least the Immortals, but we have another wave of Zealots coming in. Oh.
Yeah, and GG, Creature. Taking a map off Vindicta here, and we're now 1-1.
Oh boy, we are 1-1. We're going all the way to the ace match, and this is getting pretty close. Again, the winner of this series will be advancing out of the group. The loser, their performance in NA Apprentice is over. So it will all come down to this for both Vindicta and Creature.
It's the 3 rocks. Can't stand the 3 rocks. Silly build. Get it out of here.
I mean, maybe if you had just waited for Stim, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. It's a pretty messy game.
Oh boy. We'll see what happens here in the ace match. It's gonna be on Inside and Out.
Let's go.
Let's go, Poppy, let's go. Show me the world. Goddamn.
Alrighty. Spawning. Here in the top right hand corner of the map. Fighting it out to get out of this group. Quite surprisingly, it is, for Platinum Heroes in the blue, Vindicta.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponents. We have the American Protoss representing Root Gaming. It is Creature. Oh boy, here we go. It all comes down to Game 3, to the ace match here. Even the final match of this round robin group stage. And so far, I think both groups have really worked out well that way. It wasn't on purpose by any means, but we've gotten to the point where both groups' last matches actually meant something, which doesn't always happen in a round robin stage.
Yeah, it's true.
Boy, so yeah, here we go. We do see Creature being, a little bit paranoid, just scouting around, making sure that we're not going to be ending things off with a proxy.
Yeah, definitely not. It's going to be a pretty standard game coming out from the two players. And yeah, Vindicta kind of just going back to his roots, playing a very standard, solid macro build so far to start off with. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, against a weaker player as well, especially in TVP, sometimes it's best to just do what's going to get you into a pretty comfortable mid game.
Exactly. You know, why try and jeopardize the game here by trying something a little bit too cheeky, a little bit too fancy, when maybe your solid macro play is good enough to make it all work? Is maybe what Vindicta's thinking. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh god, as he is going for that Rax Expand opener here, we do see the Reaper just scouting around looking for what he can find. Behind this, what are you feeling from Creature? Stargate? Twilight Council?
I think Twilight on this map. Play a standard blink game again.
Yeah, I mean, there is quite a way in towards the main base, and there we go, Twilight Council. It's thrown down. Oh.
He knows.
When are we getting another Protoss stream?
Never. For us, is over. It's gone. It's done.
What happened? What happened to the Protoss, Poppy? What do you mean?
It's alright.
It's alright.
But I think I'd have to actually learn real builds, which I can't be bothered doing.
Sorry. Just copy Beastork. You'll be fine, Poppy. You'll be fine.
They look like pretty good builds.
They do. They do. They're crazy. As Blink does begin here for Creature, Vindicta still hasn't found his way in yet. Just going to be waiting for his opportune moment to maybe send in that Reaper, but the Adepts cancel their shade. They're sticking around to make sure that there is no way in. Vindicta just waiting for his Hellion to show up.
Yeah, the Hellion and the Reaper going to confirm a scout here.
Yeah, as they're trying to make their way past the Adepts, so far they've done a good job at keeping up. The Reaper does slip into the main base and is going to be able to launch it. Oh no, he misses the grenade.
I don't think there's a jump though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no jump there. Sometimes his wall can offer a jump, but I don't think it does this time. But he saw the... Oh no, he didn't see the Twilight.
Yeah. Oh.
Players have gotten better at walling this, because I haven't been able to see it anymore either, but I feel like I used to.
Yeah, it would make sense if over time players would adapt. And yeah. As the Reaper doesn't get into the main, there we do have the scan, and we have confirmation that it is a Twilight Council opener.
Yeah, bit of helmet gameplay there, but it's fine. I think that's reasonable enough.
It is fair enough. Fair enough. As back at home, we do have our 1-1-1. We have our, I imagine, 3-act set up after this, and yeah, nothing too crazy coming up from Vindicta here, as you were kind of saying earlier.
Yeah, and here we go. The Mind Drop going to be heading in. Does get spotted by that pylon at the third, but no reaction from Creature just yet.
Yeah, the pylon saw it, but did Creature see it? It looks like he hasn't. He hasn't taken note of what's going on, and Vindicta may be looking for an opportune moment here when maybe Creature is a little bit distracted, as he is going straight into, oh my god, a Robotics Bay.
Yeah, okay, so...
Oh, he gets in!
The
Reaper gets in!
Oh. He sees the Twilight Council.
He knows, Poppy, he knows. Yeah, the Reaper jumped in on the right-hand side. Not the left.
Ah.
Yeah, that was
cool.
That was thin enough. So he was able to, just confirm the scout, saw a couple of additional gateways. Nothing too meaningful, though. I don't believe, he hasn't caught wind of the bay and the Robo production yet.
Yeah, not just yet. As there we go. We just see Creature going for a little bit of a move out here with these Stalkers. Does have the Observer. Probably a little bit too late now to be jumping into that base, as we do see the SimCity for Vindicta is very solid.
It is quite solid. At the same time, it looks like Raven Harass is coming into the main. Widowmine Drop comes in towards the natural base as well. Oh, I think only one shot actually got off there.
Only one worker going down in total, yeah. Very solid defense there from Creature.
He's crazy.
He's an animal.
He's an animal, Poppy. We do still have both Widowmines, and then we go, they're headed towards the third, but they do get fended off by those Stalkers.
Yeah, the Drop's just going to stay here. We'll be keeping the army back, so it does do that, which is not a bad idea. Sorry, not not bad recompense at all, but behind this we do have those first 2 medevacs coming out pretty soon for Vindicta. He can look to start to go for his first push here, and the 3rd base on the way as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the important part, right? Like, we have a Raven and a Mind Drop threatening every single mineral line of Creator. So Creature, and maybe Creator too.
Creator, let's go.
Let's go, Bobby. So, yeah, Vindicta, he can just kind of hold on to that, wait for the moment when he's, you know, pushing out across the map for a big fight, and then he can just dive in and potentially get a lot of damage.
Yeah, okay, we're going to go for the 4 medevac timing. I think this is definitely really strong. So this drop is going to skirt around the outside of the base, and when it does finally get towards the main, and meet up with a Raven, actually, which is really cute. Definitely, I mean, that Raven ensures that there's going to be no observers seeing it as well. He can go for this drop as the move out is going to be hitting at the 3rd.
Yeah, there we go. The move out is moving out. 2 tanks, Marauders, Marines. We do see a scan as well, and the observer is going to get taken out at that 3rd base.
Yeah, observer goes down, push is heading out across the map. This Stalker's going to do the best job they can just to kite this as it comes out. Maybe pick off a few Marines here and there, but the main thing for Vindicta here is he's just trying to drag all the army to the front so that this drop in the main has its best success. And here we go. It is hitting the main right now.
Yeah, the drop of the main goes in. The drop of the natural as well. The wind mines are going to be able to burrow, and there's no reaction. Up.
Yeah, decent connections there. And in the main, the Twilight Archives goes down. Nice pick off.
Very nice pick off. Meanwhile, the tanks are sieging up here on the cliff face over the 3rd base, and they're going to be able to shell away at those Colossi. The Marines are pushing on forward as well. It looks like, oh, there may not be enough to protect these tanks, though.
Yeah, great position, but the shield battery overcharge really well placed as well for Creature, and he will be able to push this back. And actually, Vindicta's in massive trouble here from this counterattack.
Oh, at the same time, the double jump comes in and it forces a recall.
Yeah, forces a recall on both Colossus. That absolutely saves Vindicta in this situation.
Yeah, his 3rd base is so exposed. He doesn't have much at all back at home. Even still, Creature is moving out once again, and this 3rd is in trouble.
Yeah, not much made it back, and Vindicta's in some serious trouble, as you're saying.
Oh boy, the 3rd base is going to be lifted here. The drops are coming back home as well. I think Vindicta realizes how much danger he is in, but Creature is going to back off. He's not going to keep on pushing.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, this Raven here has a lot of energy on it, so that makes his Colossus push a lot less scary. He has enough here to disable 2 of those, so that's going to help him a lot if the fight does go down.
Yeah, so Creature may be waiting for a 3rd Colossus, maybe waiting for a couple of Disruptors as well. We have a 4th Nexus on the way for Creature. Vindicta was in a lot of trouble, but he has been able to survive at that moment, and from here, he's just going to be pitching his tent, taking on up, chilling out. Oh.
Yeah, big chillin'. That's there we go. Since Tao goes down, extra gas is bunker. Everything that he needs to be safe. Would like to see a 4CC going down ASAP as well, as the Protoss is, you know, expanding a little bit slowly, but for that, he gets a really nice big army. So it's a trade-off that you can always choose to do.
Definitely. You know, later economy, stronger army. We have that Disruptor on the way as well. Still no double Robo production. And it was pretty big that the Templar Archives will snipe just because we don't really have any Archons right now. We don't have any High Templar. We don't have any Storm either. So this does really slow down the diversity that I'm sure Creator wanted in his army. So again, we cannot understate that pick off from Vindicta. And it's once again going to slow down Creature. Call him Creator again.
Yeah, that's fine. As yeah, the MiGs libs starting to be created here, so they can be sent around for harass, and this is where the multitask will start to pick up.
Yeah, it really will, and we don't really have too many Stalkers available, so we'll see how Creature is able to deal with that. For the most part, he has been able to keep up with, you know, the early game Raven harass and the drop harass as well. So we'll see if he can do the same moving forward here, as we have another mind drop being sent out.
Yeah, so plenty of multi-prong going to be sent out. We have that mind drop headed towards the main as that armory finishes up. That can be really annoying to deal with. I mean, Vindicta's got plenty at home to defend. He has the Vikings and the Ravens as well, so they can just start to send these libs around for some harass. But really nice spotter zealot from Creature is going to see that.
Oh boy, but did he see it? Because the libs are slipping out on the right-hand side. The drop coming in towards the main as well. And Creature, to begin with, doesn't really have such high of a worker count. He can't really afford to lose too many more workers after the drop earlier. And here we go. Probes are falling to libs.
Yeah, really well positioned. One of those going to be going down already, but this one here, very awkward to deal with. And, oh, he might even get it out. Wow, nice attention to detail there.
Oh, God, it does barely get out of range of those Stalkers. At the same time, triple drop coming into the main, but no, it gets shut down by the Blink Stalkers of Creature. Vindicta trying to go for this tri-pronged attack, but it doesn't quite go his way.
Yeah, Creature's map vision and his army, everything looking very nice. Very good split as well here, so he should be able to fend off this army on the left while going for a massive counter attack, and this is looking very good for Creature here.
It really is. There's not much at home for Migs. It looks like the third base is going to be going down. At the same time, we have a disable on that Disruptor. Vindicta is going to try and go toe-to-toe with this main army.
Yeah, there we go, and it's mostly just gateway units. They have been anti-armored, they have been EMP'd, so they will be getting absolutely shredded here, but he has to survive back at home because there's those Disruptors, there's the 3 Colossus as well, so it's going to be pretty hard for him to hold on. He just wants to take out as much as he can while defending.
Yeah, it's all about this base trade. I feel like it may also come down to this Raven as well. It has survived. It did pop off that anti-armor missile earlier, and we will need some disables if the armies do clash later on. It has very low HP, but so far it is with that main army.
Yeah, so here we go. Going to be a full base trade. Vindicta trying to take out as many of these pylons and gateways as he can just to make sure that the Protoss isn't able to reinforce their army.
Yeah, exactly. And the main of Creature has been compromised. Creature can always recall, of course, but he wants to break the main of Vindicta. He does get the tank. A second tank is going to be able to come out in time. And Mix, he's pulling the boys. He has a lot of Marauders as well in his main.
Yeah, he actually has a really decent amount of army there.
Oh, he really does. But here we go. Creature's going to try and dive on in. He blinks on forward. He gets on top of the tank. Vikings turn around. And with that, it looks like the Vikings going to be able to take down one of the Colossus. Maybe a second. Oh.
Yeah, it should be going down. The main of the Protoss being completely cleared out. Wow, 2 Colossus going down. That is huge here for Vindicta.
Yeah, those Vikings coming in clutch towards the end. Only 1 Colossus, 1 Disruptor remaining. The army supply of Creature isn't looking that high, but he does have a lot of mining bases, to be fair. He is trying to rebuild. We have a gateway on the way in the bottom right-hand corner of that. Meanwhile, the natural is now gone.
Yeah, Vindicta will be scanning the National and third to see if there's any gateways or anything like that being rebuilt. Nothing of the sort. This Liberator is continuing to rack up the kills over at this 4th base. It has not been dealt with. 13 kills on that.
Oh my god, the Liberator has been insane. The 3rd base has been found, and the 3rd
mines
of Creature is now going to be going down.
Yeah, the mines outside the natural of Vindicta. Looks like they were spotted by the probe, so they will be taken out, and the second one taken out by a Disruptor. So really good stuff from Creature to spot those, because they could have taken out the High Templars if Vindicta retargeted them.
Yeah, bearing in mind, looking at the upgrades here, Storm is done for Creature, so these High Templar are actually quite valuable. I underestimated the potential of his army. I thought he only had the Colossus and Disruptor for splash damage, but he's going to have some swords. He recalls!
Yeah, he recalls to the gold base, so it looks like he wants to try to fight this one out. He wants to defend this base, but the siege tank, it is already siege. The EMPs on the ghost, there is plenty of them, and the Vikings are here. Big disable goes down on the Disruptor, and there's just way too much here for the Terran. He has done it. GG is called, and mate, what a game. That was very close. I was quite worried for him there.
Oh my god, GG, well played. Vindicta does take the game in the end. That Raven coming in clutch with the double disable on the Disruptor, on the Colossus, and Vindicta will be coming out second in Group D.
Yeah, there we go. So not without a little bit of a struggle, but he manages it. He gets it done.
He does get it done in the end. Shout out to Creature though, because again, I feel like he's a very underrated player. You know, a lot of eyes aren't on him nowadays in current era of StarCraft, but he did make Vindicta work for it, as you said. That base trade was pretty close as well. Was the recall the best move there? I mean, again, I'm sure he wasn't aware of the positioning of the Raven, of the rest of the Vikings that were coming in. That wasn't the last base, but it was the last mining base, to be fair. That is where all of his probes, or what few probes that were left, were kind of hunkering down.
Yeah, definitely. It was an intense one, very
Yeah.
intense one.
Hey. Very intense. GG, well played. In the end, the Terran players will be making it out of this group. Both Future and Vindicta will be coming out first and second respectively. Meanwhile, both Creature and Eon, they will not. They're going to be bowing out here in the group stage of NA Apprentice.
Yeah, they will. So in the end, the favorites do get out, but not without a bit of a rocky road to get there. I mean, Aeon taking a map off Vindicta, Creature taking a map off Vindicta, and almost winning that last game as well. So it's definitely a bit of a rocky road for him.
And hey, Eon almost took game 1 against Future, like.
Yeah, very close.
There were a lot of close games. As you mentioned earlier, though, not a lot of kind of macro-oriented games. I think maybe that last game was the closest we got, as we had kind of a 4-base against 4-base scenario between the Protoss and the Terran, but again, still very chaotic hyper-aggression from everyone, as it should be in NA.
Yeah, nice quick games. We love it.
There you go. Yeah, with that, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves here. I hope everyone was able to tune into some of the other groups as well. I believe Group A and Group C were covered by Biomorph over on his channel. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cover every group. We did split them up 50-50. And yeah, he was able to cast them, and Dolan was able to make it out of Group A.
Yeah, I just saw that. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. You love to see it. Dolan making it out of Group A. Do you have the results of Group C? Group C.
Yes, Epic and Uko making it out of Group C.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess to be expected. Rocker was maybe a bit of a wild card there. Disrespect isn't a bad player either. But yeah, Epic, Uko, Ricci, Disc, Trigger, Dolan, and Future, alongside Vindicta, will be making it to the playoff bracket.
There we go. So pretty great looking playoff bracket we've got ahead of us.
Only one Zerg, so a little bit smudged. My Zerg heart bleeds a little bit, but NA doesn't have a lot of Zerg players, unfortunately, and Scarlet doesn't qualify for this event as she's a little bit too good. So smudged, and Silky is retired, so it's Uko just waving that Zerg flag, waving it, Papa, waving it. Oh.
Nice, love to see it.
Let's go. But yes, mainly Terrans and Protoss, so it's gonna be a wild playoff bracket. We'll keep you guys updated on what happens with it, whether we cast it, whether Biomorph casts it, whether Sugar casts it. Speaking of Sugar, massive shout to both Sugar and Apprentice Esports for making this event a reality. They have a lot of passion, a lot of love for NA StarCraft, running it year after year, season after season. NA Apprentice has been a thing for a very, very long time, ever since 2019. We've had plenty of seasons of NA StarCraft, so be sure to support Apprentice Esports as well as Sugar. Give him some love. Give him some love.
Yeah, let's go. Shout out there.
Yeah. Speaking of shout outs, exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. There is a Matcherino page for this tournament. Are there any coupon codes available? I don't think there are coupon codes, but if you want to help out the prize pool, if you want to support the tournament, if you want to support NA StarCraft, then you can support it on Matcherino. It's all available there, all transparent with where the money goes. So yeah, if you want to help out the boys in NA, you can.
Yeah, please do.
With that, we've been mentioning it, but mate, Asher, where are you gonna be over this long weekend, the Easter weekend? What's going on?
Be chilling at the beaches with the beach.
You're pulling a Mia mic up, Poppy. Oh my god.
Of course.
Yeah, for those who don't know, if you don't mind me saying Asher, I mean, you already said it on stream. Asher is going to be not with us for this weekend. He's going to be out with the boys, kicking it in the schoolyard, with some other Australian players. I don't know if I can say who. But with some other Australian players are going to be out there for the weekend. And this does mean, unfortunately, for the ESL qualifiers, for the DreamHack qualifiers, I won't have my Asher. Oh.
You'll be fine.
Oh. So it won't be the same, Poppy. It won't be.
It'll be slightly less unhinged.
Let's go. Only slightly. You know, is it going to be less or more? You know, you won't be there to stop me.
True. Definitely, it might be more.
Oh, God. Yeah, coming up over the next weekend is going to be a pretty intense period for StarCraft. As you can imagine, it did recently get announced like a month ago. We haven't had too much time to prepare. But DreamHack Zhongshaping is going to be the first DreamHack of the year. And the qualifiers are going to be taking place starting tomorrow in less than 24 hours.
Let's go. So plenty to look forward to, StarCraft fans.
Yeah. We have the DreamHack Asia qualifiers tomorrow, which is the new Oceania mixed with China and Taiwan, Hong Kong, and all that good stuff. So it's the Asia qualifier tomorrow. We have the European and American qualifier shortly afterwards, followed by KSL. KSL is on Saturday as well, followed by the closed qualifiers of Asia, followed by the closed qualifiers of EU and Americas as well. Followed by there's two open qualifiers for EU and Americas. So followed by that, then the closed qualifiers, and then ESL Open Cup Asia. And I'm looking at the calendar. And there's a lot of StarCraft. Why is ESL Asia and ESL America still going on when we still have the qualifiers? What's happening? So yeah, a lot of StarCraft is gonna be happening this weekend, and if you want to be a part of it, be sure to follow the Twitch channel because we'll be casting as much of it as we can.
Yeah, we'll be all over that action, especially the Asia region. Gotta represent.
Yeah, we're gonna be all over that, cheering for the likes of me and Micah, of Rangers been coming back, of the Australian boys. Unfortunately, I imagine some of the Australian players that are going out for the Easter weekend won't be a part of the Asia qualifier, unfortunately. But I'm sure we'll have plenty from other regions instead. It's gonna be a great time. I'll do my best. I'll reach out to Yaku. I'll reach out to Chase. I'll reach out to some of the other kind of co-casters for the Ducklings, and hopefully I'm able to rally them together, and hopefully I'm alive by the time you come back, Asher.
Yeah, you'll be alright. You're used to it. You like it.
I like it, Puffy. I like it. Oh, it's beautiful. So yeah, be sure to be there for the DreamHack qualifiers, and if you want to tune into some more AsherBro, Asher, I heard that someone got Diablo 2 recently.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to stream Diablo 2. But if I did, it would be at twitch.tv/AsherBro.
There we go. Exclamation mark AsherBro in the chat to get some links to AsherBro. I do promise you that when he does stream, it'll be worth it. He's worth it, Bobby. And
your Diablo streams, where are they?
My Diablo streams. @_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week. I was streaming earlier today and I was smurging, Poppy. I was smurging. Man, I went 3-11 today, man. It was a
smudge. Yeah,
rough
that's
ladder.
rough.
Yeah, it was a rough ladder session. It's rough. After that, I ended the stream like an hour before the cast, and I was like, "This is why I don't ladder before casting. I don't want to smurge before the cast." So I immediately did regret it. But it's okay. The games are good, and it's always a fun time casting with you. So thank you for lifting my spirits. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice anything. It's all good.
And so yeah, you can follow me at @VIP. But if you only want the CranKy Duckling action, check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have a YouTube channel for our VODs, and we have a Discord server where you can interact with us outside of just the stream. So check us out there if you're interested. Otherwise, if you just want to support the Ducklings and just follow us here on Twitch, you can support us in other ways. You can subscribe. You can check out our Patreon. Our Patreon is set up to support every single one of our tournaments that we are hosting. And it's up to the community. It's up to the StarCraft scene to support our tournaments and hopefully make them a little bit more regular and hopefully boost the prize pool to benefit the Latin American, the American, the Southeast Asian, and Oceania scene. Because we do host tournaments for some of the smaller regions. It's not as big as like the Korean region or the European region, but you know, some of these other smaller regions do deserve a little bit of love. So if you're interested, check out the Patreon because we're doing our best. We're doing our part.
Yeah, plenty of great events to support. So always appreciated.
As we head off for the night, Asher, do you have anything you want to say before we head off? Okay, and go to bed or play some Diablo.
Oh. I got a tournament game I have to play because I'm not going to be here on the weekend, and I really don't want to play it right now.
Oh, who are you playing?
It's a 5K European Zerk. Should be good.
Oh,
should be a fun series at least.
Yeah, let's go. All games US West?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. I wish you the best of luck. Wish you luck, Asher. Wish you luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Cheer for Asher and his tournament game that's going to be on tonight. I don't think it's going to be streamed anywhere at the moment anyway, but maybe from replays or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
There you go. So, that's the Vulcan. Is that the Vulcan Cup? Is that...
Little Mac Master League.
Oh, okay.
Little Mac's a G. Follow his channel. It's cool.
Beautiful. So follow Little Mac for some Asher replay action. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the beginning of the end, for the beginning of the DreamHack qualifiers.
Enjoy. Bye-bye.